Good evening, everyone, from the University of North Florida in Jacksonville, Florida. This is the USA Rugby League National Championship game between the Jacksonville Axemen and the Philadelphia Fight, a pair of unbeaten teams. I'm Arlie Johnson, joined by Steve Williams this evening. And Steve, in 4 years of the USA Rugby League, either the Axemen or the Fight have been national champions. Once again, that will be the case tonight.
These are the two premier teams of the competition. Philadelphia Fight, 2011-2013 winners. Jacksonville runners-up last year, 2012 champions. Two great teams coming together on a great day.
And these two teams faced each other last year, with the Fight winning the national title by a 28-22 result. You would think, as they faced each other last year in the finals, and with one of them being the champion, that maybe there's a little bad blood, or is it just nothing more than mutual respect?
These two teams look forward to seeing each other all year. This is the first time they've played against each other. Both teams undefeated this season. North versus South should be a great encounter. There's no bad blood. Both teams want to win.
Steve, very hot, it's very humid out there today. I've got to think that perhaps that's going to be a factor for one team or the other, maybe for Philadelphia because they've been up north. How do you see that breaking down for today? Will it be an advantage for the Axemen?
It's definitely an advantage for the Axemen. It's been a mild summer up in Philadelphia. This heat, this oppressive heat, including the travel, I'd say it's going to definitely be in the Axemen's favor.
And let's talk about some of the key players for each team. For Jacksonville, you're looking at a player and head coach, Matt Keeley, also Apple Pope, a player who's been here really since the inception of this team and the heart and soul of this club. You got to think if the Axemen are going to take control of this game and win it and take the title home, that both of those players will be a factor.
Absolutely. Apple's been looking forward to this opportunity for ages playing at home. Matt Keeley, MVP of the 2012 team. Look for him to do a lot of work around the middle, feeding the players, doing damaging runs.
And as for Philadelphia, one of their key factors is their chemistry and continuity. This club has been around for a long, long time together, but there also might be a little bit of a health issue with one of their star players tonight, too.
Absolutely. There's a bit of a fitness cloud over Jackson Springer, who's one of the top players of Philadelphia. But look to him. He'll come on early and see how he does in the first 10 minutes.
This is broadcast not only here in Jacksonville, but also on the internet. Let's talk about some of the rules, basic rules for players, or for people who do not know the rules of this game and what to expect out there. What are some of the key basic rules for the viewers out there to follow?
Rules are pretty simple. It's a lot like American football, except no pads, no blocking, no forward passes, 6 downs. Whole point is to try to score on those 6 downs, look for them to kick.
What about the style of play that we're going to look for the viewers out there? What style of play are we looking for? Who's going to be your scorer? Who's going to be the guys that are going to be mucking in the trenches?
There's 3 types of players. There's battering rams, there's playmakers, and then there's finishers. The battering rams, their job is to punch holes. The playmaker is to find the gaps. And the finishers, they're the speed men. Look to them to dive, score in the corner, and they're the ones that light the crowd up.
All right, Steve, you talked about this conditions being a little bit of an advantage perhaps for Jacksonville. Do you feel like maybe it's enough for them to take this victory? Home field advantage certainly has to help too, but I wonder if you think that Philadelphia might be a bit of a favorite.
On neutral ground, I would say give it to the Fight, but under these conditions, could be an Axemen victory today. Not sure. We'll find out in 90 minutes.
Well, we're going to find out whether the Philadelphia Fight are going to be 2-time champions or whether the Axemen will win their second title in 3 years. Opening kick is coming up in just a moment. This is the USA Rugby League National Championship game. Stay tuned for the opening kick. Fantastic rendition of your national anthem tonight from Miss Joy Dennis as we are just about ready for the opening kick of this USA Rugby League National Championship game. Arlie Johnson again here with Steve Williams. Hot and humid, yes, but otherwise phenomenal conditions for this game tonight. Before we start, we're also going to have a special presentation from the New Zealand team that played sort of a kickoff game leading into this national championship. They're going to do their traditional haka to get ready for this performance tonight. Here they are on the field. If you're not ready for this game tonight, I don't know what else it's gonna take for you to be ready. The intensity, just looking at the movements from each of these guys, amazing, amazing stuff. And we are ready to go. Let's go through the Philadelphia Fight roster right now before we get going. Let's start with a couple of the key players. That's Kevin Wiggins, number 10, and Jackson Springer, number 11 as well, Steve.
Absolutely. These are two of the forwards. They're designed to punch holes in the opposition. Look at Jackson Springer to be breaking holes and feeding his other players the ball.
Mike Timpano might be one of your leading try-getters as well. As for the Jacksonville Axemen, Matt Keeley, not only a key player, but also their head coach. You're also going to watch out for Apple Pope, number 13, as your lock. Also Josh Cock, the 5'8 player.
Absolutely. Plenty of experience on the Axemen time. They're really the forward team in the middle. They're the ones going to be doing damaging runs.
This player interchange brought to you by the Republic Services. Republic Services will be there as your waste expert, your environmental resource partner, and if you just want your trash picked up, we're still happy to be your garbage man, too. Opening kick ready to go. It's going to be the Jacksonville Axemen moving from left to right. They're in white with the blue numbers for the Philadelphia Fight. They're in green with red and black digits. Axemen will be kicking. We're ready for your national championship game. A pair of unbeatens tonight in a gorgeous evening here in Jacksonville, Florida. Your head referee, Vince Lawson, signals play. Philadelphia is under the kick. We are underway. Grabbing that kick for Philadelphia, Tom Dawney, and they are taken down at about their 10-meter mark. Again, they'll have 6 downs to move all the way down the field. They'll pitch to the right-hand side. Axemen get a body on him, taking down Roman Lowry after he gains about 5 meters on the play.
There's Wiggins. Look to him run out wide, do some damaging runs, create some gaps for the other team members to run through.
Just looking at Wiggins, you can tell he's pretty damaging. What a physical force out there on the field as Philadelphia now moves it to the left side. Tremendous tackle
Big hit
from
there
the
by
Jacksonville
the
Axemen. That's Joe Eicher, the center. One-on-one chest tackle forces Philadelphia to kick. Axemen will gain first possession. It's Will Mueller with it, running above his 30-meter mark, tries to gain the 40, can't quite do it. And the Axemen have their first offensive possession of the evening.
I spoke to Coach Eelfield in the game day yesterday, and he basically said they're looking to play the game down in Axemen territory. So far, though, the Axemen's past the 50-yard line.
They just gained that center stripe right now. Axemen still with a few plays, getting their 6th plays underway. It's going to be Matt Keeley, their head coach, pitching to the right side. That's Jamie Udawal with it close to the 40-meter mark. Field position, such an important part of rugby. It's not all about scoring, very similar to football. Some of the nuances behind it. It's not just about the points. It's about gaining some possession as Jacksonville kicks it and grounds it upfield. A bouncing ball. Philadelphia bobbles. That ball is loose right near the pylon at the corner.
Oh, he's saying he tackled in the in goal. Looks like the Axemen will get the ball back. Be a drop kick from underneath the posts.
So we are just underway. They're going to show this hit again from Joe Eicher. Look at this straight-up tackle right on the hips. That
Great
is as
hit.
form as you can get.
Copybook tackle.
So it's going to be the Fight kicking the ball back to Jacksonville. It's a drop kick from their goal line right on the midfield stripe. It's the Axemen with it. Leading the play is Taylor Youngling. Good 20-yard run to get things started offensively.
Axemen in great position. This is exactly what they wanted starting the game.
Running right up the middle, trying to break a couple of tackles there is the Axemen's Will Mueller. Dropping it back. A little bit of space now for Jacksonville. A quick bobble, but he fields it right back again. Almost lost it, but they do maintain possession. They're inside the 20-meter mark. Axemen pitch back. That goes to Joe Bobbin. Loses possession. It's a turnover. And here come the Philadelphia Fight. quick turnover the other way, and Philadelphia in possession. Jacksonville really had something going there until that bobble forced things back to Philadelphia.
Yeah, they took the foot off the accelerator. That was a bad turnover.
So the fight, a little bit of a reprieve there. They were on their heels early on in this game.
Ooh, that's a high tackle.
Not called. Talked about what constitutes a high tackle. If you hit the shoulder first, it's legal. If you go head first, not the same.
The game's designed to protect the player.
As it should be. It's a little bit physical if you haven't noticed already. As the fight pitch it to the left side, in possession there, Michael Garvey breaks one tackle. Does he throw it forward? They're going to say no, but the ball does go out of bounds.
Referee's calling a forward pass on that play first. Garvey coming back from a successful World Cup campaign with the USA team in 2013. Look to him when they spread the ball wide.
And out of these two teams, I imagine there's got to be a few players that represent not only their teams, but also the United States nationally.
A number of players have represented the USA over the years. Apple Pope as well, local boy. He's represented the USA on a number of occasions.
So we're going to have the Axemen throwing the ball into the scrum because of that forward pass. Pitching the ball into the scrum for the Axemen. Their captain, that's Richie Alger. Axemen in possession on their first of 6 plays. Good force up the middle, almost like a halfback in football, pushing the pile forward. That gets to the 40-meter mark, still in Jacksonville territory.
The Axemen are playing the ball very quickly, pushing the Philadelphia fight team back on defense. They have to be 10 yards away from where the ball's played, otherwise they're considered to be offside.
Now to the left-hand end, it's going to be Matt Thornton, veteran player for the Axemen. He's been here for a long, long time.
He certainly has. Close
to the 30-meter mark now is Jacksonville in Philadelphia territory, pitching it wide, trying to gain some extra space. Good tackle by the fight to keep things bottled up along the sideline. It's going to force Jacksonville to kick it high, opposite end of play. Underneath it, just able to make that tackle, or that catch rather, for Philadelphia was Mike Timpano, but he was tackled instantly. He nearly dropped that ball as well.
Michael Garvey looks hurt on the play.
Very slow to get up on one knee is Michael Garvey. Critical player for the fight. And that could have been a big problem for the fight had Mike Timpano not been able to field that ball properly. It is going to force Philadelphia to kick the ball right near us. I almost had a chance at it there.
There you go. I was going to throw you over the side to grab the ball.
I'm resilient. I could have bounced back from that. So we're down to just under 15 minutes to go in the first quarter. We are playing 4 20-minute quarters today. And it is now the fight with possession. They're over midfield. First time they've been offensively in Jacksonville territory as Kevin Wiggins pushes the pile forward. Nice run on from Kevin Wiggins. And the fight's Rich Henson. He's their team captain. To the right-hand side for Roman Lowry. Looking to go to the wide side, looking for space. Couldn't quite get there. Axemen are able to tackle them properly. Comes back to the middle of play, but Philadelphia gets inside the 20-meter mark now. Still 0-0 between the Jacksonville Axemen and the Philadelphia fight, but the fight are threatening. They're now inside the 10.
It was touched by the Axemen. That's 6 more tackles.
And so they get just to the 10-meter mark, and again, fresh set of plays now for Philadelphia. They are really threatening. Just to the goal line. Can they touch it down?
He might.
Haven't heard a whistle yet.
He's been held up. That'll bring the ball back to the 10-yard line. Philadelphia will retain possession. The tackle count will be the second tackle.
One of the most important differences between American football and rugby league here, it doesn't just have to cross the plane like it does in football. In rugby league, you have to physically touch that ball down to the ground for that try to count. As Philadelphia goes to the try line, are they going to get the first 4 points of the game?
Garvey looks like he's over.
What are they saying?
That's a try.
It is 4-0.
Beautiful pass there to Michael Garvey. Straight through the line, broke 2 tacklers.
And we're going to go to the Kill Cliff replay to make sure that Philadelphia does indeed get that fantastic pass there. As Garvey, you can tell, definitely does touch it down over the stripe. 4-0 fight with just under 7 minutes gone by in regulation play here in the first quarter. 2-point conversion now. Again, a try worth 4 points. Conversions worth 2 points. The kick has to come from where it was touched down on the field. It's not straight on like it would be in football.
Directly in line. But Tempiano's a great kicker. He'll be able to do these from anywhere in the park, but this one especially, this should be pretty easy for him.
They do get a tee to work with as well. Looks like about a 2 to 3 inch tee. That's certainly going to help out. It is a pretty sharp angle, but as you say, these guys are pretty accustomed to these sharp angles. Kicking it sharply to his right, trying to put an extra couple of points on the board for Philadelphia. It's close at the left upright, but it is good, and it is a 2-point conversion. Philadelphia on top early in this contest. It is 6-0 with the fight on top. First 2 or 3 minutes certainly in Jacksonville's favor. I think that turnover right at about at the 10-meter mark for the Axemen going back a few minutes really swayed things. From there, it's been Philadelphia. They seem to have righted the ship a little bit.
Yeah, and that was a costly turnover for the Axemen. Coach Hillfield will be happy with the start with the fight. He'll look to apply the pressure as they get the ball back. Axemen have to watch the next 10 minutes here.
And when you score, as opposed to giving the ball up, you get the ball back as well.
Right. Momentum is with the attacking team. Rugby league is a game about a possession. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Those that hold the ball usually win the game.
And so it's the Axemen kicking off. It is high, relatively short this time. Underneath it for the fight is Tom Dawney. And it's Philadelphia with a fresh set of 6 plays once again. They're not quite at their 20-meter mark just yet. And now it's Jacksonville that's got to find a way defensively to keep the fight hemmed in their own zone. Good. We do have a substitution as well for Jacksonville. Tim Herf coming onto the field of play for the first time. So an interchange coming in as Philadelphia man is tackled, but not before he lets the ball go on a pass. That ball is stripped. Jacksonville take it over on the quick change. They're already in Philadelphia territory on that turnover.
Great possession for the Axemen. Let's see if they can capitalize on this play.
And the new substitute, Tim Herf, just on the field. Now he's first with the ball as well, inside the 40-meter mark. Here comes Jacksonville. Pitch to the right. It's going to be number 10, Stephen Hill with it. Hill near the 20-meter mark as the Axemen are now threatening.
Look at the Axemen to go out wide to the right here.
There's Apple Pope, been around for a long time for Jacksonville, right up the middle of play, about 12 meters away from the try line. Good pitch back to the right side. That's Jay DeFow trying to step in, about 5 meters away from the touch line.
Great defense from the fight.
Can Jacksonville punch it in? They're trying to go wide this time. It's going to be Joe Bobbin. Can he find a seam? Pitches it away to the right side, looking for the line. Is he going to get there? It's awful close. He's over the line, but has he touched it down?
The referee's saying it's a 20-meter start. Axemen unlucky there.
He got the ball over the line, but the way Philadelphia tackled, I believe it was Joe Bobbin. Not sure. We'd have to maybe check a replay for it in a minute. But he was tackled with his back on the ground and his stomach coming up. Look at the way that the Axemen player gets twisted as he is tackled. That's why he wasn't able to touch it down. Excellent work there by Philadelphia, most notably Jackson Springer, who again is battling a bit of a flu bug today, but you wouldn't have known it by the way he made that tackle. He really saved 4 points there for the fight. And so it's Philadelphia back with it. Now more than halfway through the first quarter. Again, it is Philadelphia 6, Jacksonville nothing. In the national championship game, 2 unbeaten teams for the USA Rugby League National Championship.
Look at the Axemen. They're slowing the play down. They don't want Philadelphia to have a quick play the ball. They're laying on them in the tackle so they don't get up quickly.
However, it is Philadelphia here. That tackle was made eventually, but into Jacksonville territory now where the fight. They had a lot of open room there. It could have been a lot worse than that for Jacksonville. It is Jackson Springer up the middle, tackled by Apple Pope, who consistently you will hear his name on the tackling end of things as Philadelphia boots it downfield. It is picked up on the fly by the Axemen. They're going to go straight up the middle, trying to beat a couple of men on the tackle, and getting over the 20-meter mark is Roman Lowry for Jacksonville. That really helps out with field position there. He also looks like he's a bit banged up on that play. Slow to get up, or at least to get back into the end of play. Apple Pope now for the Axemen. Not quite at the 40-meter mark. Back and forth we go. Again, a game of field position here. Look at the big fella for Jacksonville. That's number 19, Jay DeFow, finally giving it up. Just a bowling ball out there. Tough as nails. Tough to bring down as well. That could have been a forward pass. If they're going to call it that way, I believe that they will. They had it right. There's no question. We had a great line on it.
And the referee was in great position as well to see that as a forward pass. Unlucky for the Axemen. They had good pressure applied there, but a costly turnover.
Replay coming on this. We'll see if we have it on the angle. You can tell clearly that ball does go forward. But like you said, had that ball been either even or behind, it could have been the Axemen with a little bit of room to work with. Again, just over 12 minutes gone by in the first quarter. Steve, is this about what you expected, opening start?
It is. It's definitely a physical encounter. The first 20 minutes will tell us a lot of this game. But the Axemen, they're still in it. Philadelphia, exactly where they want to be.
And Philadelphia possesses the scrum. They were the ones who fed it into the scrum as well, near the midfield stripe. Solid tackle from the Axemen, one-on-one tackle. Moving now from right to left are the fight. He's got a man behind him, but a tremendous tackle from Jacksonville's Joe Eicher. That's the second time we've called his name in a defensive capacity. Nearly gets another tackle, but instead it's Michael Garvey shedding that tackle and getting an extra 10 meters out of it.
Yeah, and these are the fight little men making easy yards. That puts extra work on the Axemen forwards who have to get back on side continually running. It'll wear them down.
Garvey also got shaken up. I wonder if he got a finger in the eye. He was holding his eye trying to rub away at it, or maybe a scratch in that area to the face. Meanwhile, it's Philadelphia moving the ball forward. Good possession here. Excellent passing from the Philadelphia fight. Up the right-hand side is John Lyons. Can he break a tackle? It's at the try line. Do they have their 4 points? They do.
I think they're in the corner there.
It is 10-0 Philadelphia. As soon as that pass came to the right-hand side, you could see all the space, and it is Philadelphia with tremendous momentum here in the first quarter and a 10-0 advantage.
The Philadelphia going out wide there. We missed the cut-up pass. Takes them one-on-one. Great run, great hit. John Lyons there for the Philadelphia fight.
And Jacksonville, all of a sudden, after the first few minutes, now they're the ones who really have to figure out how to get back into this contest. Momentum's such a key factor, just as it would be in football. There's always a way to get back into it. You just got to figure out how to do that and gain that momentum once again.
Again, you have to hold onto the ball. The game is about possession. The team who's carrying the ball, they're the ones that will wear the other team down. One person running under 3 tacklers, it'll be a long day for the Axemen if they keep turning the ball over.
Running clock here, even as they get ready for the 2-point conversion. It is 10-0 fight. They're looking for another 2-point conversion. This is going to be a long way away, more than about 25 meters away, plus an incredibly difficult angle from right to left for Mike Timpano to try and convert. But he is one of the best in USA Rugby League at this. Got it up on the tee, completely focused. Bit of a breeze he has to contend with as well. Certainly has the distance.
Looks like it's wide.
It is going to be wide. So it remains 10-0 in favor of Philadelphia. Jacksonville not going to be able to do anything just yet, as they will again give up possession here. And this is not what they wanted, especially here on home field. There's a tremendous crowd, by the way. We need to mention that as well.
It's great to see the local Axemen fans turning out in full force to support their team. Quite possibly one of the bigger crowds we've had for a USA Rugby League game.
Also tremendous following, not only here in Jacksonville, but around the world watching this as well. We'll get into that in just a little bit as well. Meanwhile, back to play as Jacksonville kicks off to the fight. They're looking to continue this swing of momentum, already ahead 10-0, still in the first quarter of play.
This next set of 6 tackles is very important for the Axemen. They're looking to have a turnover.
It's been 1 turnover for each club.
Referee, it's called a high tackle here, it looks like.
And so it's going to be a fresh set of plays and also a little bit of a talking to for the Axemen as well. They were talking to Jacksonville's Matt Thornton about that issue. It might have been Thornton that was the one that tackled up high. Meanwhile, it's going to be the fight with it again.
Matt's a tall guy. He would have had to come in and really, unfortunately, that swinging arm, he's got to watch that throughout this game.
That's an intentional kick out of bounds for the fight. They will gain possession of it from there. That's going to give them even more field position. It's going to be at midfield already. Here they come with a running start. Jacksonville actually does very well to stop that momentum and gain a good tackle after only about a 5-meter run. Philadelphia looking for the pitchback. They get it.
Great offload by Wiggins there.
And just after that offload, it was Jacksonville with an excellent tackle as well from Kevin Waltham to stop Philadelphia dead in their tracks. Good pass to the left-hand side. That's Garvey with it. Excellent tackle by the opposing number. That's number 3, Joe Eicher. Again, he has been a major factor on defense for the Axemen, now with 3 critical tackles for them. But it is Philadelphia now at the Axemen 20-meter mark, already up 10-0 and looking for more. Up the middle, one-on-one tackle.
That's the 5th tackle.
One more opportunity. What will they do? Philadelphia cuts right and falls down. They pitch it away. It's going to be Axemen ball with it, but he had already fallen down on the play.
And that'll be a turnover to the Axemen.
And so Jacksonville with a few minutes to work with here before the quarter mark. But they've got a long way to go. And Philadelphia, remember we talked in the pregame show about their cohesion. It's hard to break a home run against a club like this when they really have their system down pat.
These players have been playing together for so many years. Coach Hillfield, he's been the coach with the fights since 2008. He's been coaching these guys, really has their set plays, knows exactly what they want to do.
So Jacksonville, in the meantime, if nothing else, maybe they're not going to be able to break it all the way downfield, but they want to be able to get a lot of yardage on the play, or meterage on the play, as the case may be, in Rugby League. Apple Pope footing it back. Big kick there from Richie Alger for Jacksonville. Got a great roll out of it as well. Finally fielded by John Lyons, who scored the last try for the fight. And an excellent tackle as well from Jacksonville. Pins them pretty deep in their own territory.
And the Axemen, they're kicking early in the tackle count, looking to put the pressure back in the fight, put them in their own half. Let's see if they can contain them.
And so it's Philadelphia at their own 20-meter mark, leading 10-0, approaching 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. To the left we go, and then cross pass. Nice work there from Philadelphia. That's a set play to try and change the direction of the ball, much like a counter play would be in football.
Absolutely.
Jacksonville getting 3 men on the ball carrier. That time it's Michael Garvey. We've heard his name a ton already tonight.
That's the 5th tackle. Look to them kick on this play. That's a big kick.
Huge kick. It's going to roll all the way to the back of the touchline.
A little too far there. Too much on the kick. The Axemen will get the ball at the 20-yard line to restart the play.
So you want it good. You just don't want it that good. And very little time for the Axemen to do anything with it as well. Down to...
Not sure what the referee's calling here. Did a player touch the ball?
But did a player touch the ball?
Looks as though a player touched the ball. That's bad luck for the Axemen there. Drop kick back to the Philadelphia fight. They'll get possession.
And the Axemen are not arguing it. We didn't see it from up here. I don't know if the replay would show it as well, but we certainly didn't see a touch here. Either way, the officials did. We're going to have to take them for the word. After all, these are some of the best in the country.
They'll be watching the clock here. 1 minute left in the first quarter.
That is a fantastic tackle from the Axemen. That is Will Mueller on the solo tackle. And that keeps Philadelphia back at about the Jacksonville 30-meter mark. And now we've got a stoppage in play once again. Now at the 20-meter mark, 30 seconds left in the quarter. So will the fight be able to punch it in before the clock hits 0? They're battling against time as well as space right now.
Looks like they're going to go for the kick there. Swinging arm from the Axemen. It's going to cost them 2 points. Matt Keeley will be disappointed with them in the quarter time. He'll be talking to the players. They need to get it under control here.
There's no doubt about it. It is 10-0 already, Philadelphia. Could have been worse than that, to be truthful. Jacksonville needs to try and regain some momentum, as Philadelphia is going to get a free kick here as well. As the clock hits 0, but they're still going to let him kick. Looking for more points on the board. Timpano again. This is
won't miss from here.
Chip shot for them. It is good. It's another 2 points for Philadelphia on the penalty to the Axemen. That's very, very costly. 2 more points for the fight. It is now 12-0 after 1 quarter of play here at the University of North Florida. The USA Rugby League National Championship game. It is the Philadelphia Fight 12, the Jacksonville Axemen nothing. We'll be back with the second quarter of play in just a moment. Back at the University of North Florida, the USA Rugby League National Championship game. The Philadelphia Fight lead the Jacksonville Axemen 12-0 after 1. We want to thank Republic Services, our first quarter sponsor. And now for the second quarter, this one is sponsored by Smarter Remodeling. Build it, fix it, change it, heat it, cool it. Yeah, we can tackle that. Smarter Remodeling and Ideal Conditions Heating and Air Conditioning, proudly providing the VIP tent for this game here at the University of North Florida. Second quarter kick now underway. That hit a Philadelphia leg, but they will gain possession after a bit of a roll.
And the Axemen hoping to have a better quarter this time around. Some costly turnovers put Philadelphia in great possession. They were able to get the points on the board. The Axemen hoping to score next.
And it's the fight with it again. And one of the things that we talked about off camera just between the quarters was how much Philadelphia has taken this Jacksonville crowd out of it. It is a tremendous crowd, but you wouldn't know it by how they are acting right now. Philadelphia is really taking control.
This crowd is deathly silent. They're not used to losing at home.
High tackle from Jacksonville from the shirt line, but a legal one just the same. Making it for Jacksonville was Richie Alger. Fight near midfield. Long pitch to the right. Excellent tight spiral on that pitch. They've got some room wide, cutting back to the middle of field, and it is the Axemen finally making the tackle there, but they are over the midfield.
And Philadelphia looking to spread the ball. They'll be doing this all day to wear down the Axemen opposition.
Low grounding kick. It will stay in play, and the Axemen with it now. Forcing the kick, and it is Jacksonville now with it. They needed that defensive stand. And are they going to call a knock on perhaps from Jacksonville? It looked like possibly Will Mueller might have bobbled it as he was getting up.
Again, not the start they wanted to the second quarter. Philadelphia in great position here. Let's hope the Axemen can keep it out for the fans' sake.
And again, just looking at it, for those viewers who are new to the sport, that just seemed like such an innocuous little bobble there. But that small little thing, the second that ball goes forward, if it's out of your hands, even off your foot, as soon as it goes forward, you have instantly lost possession of the ball.
Again, you can't pass the ball forward. You can't fumble the ball forward. The only thing you can do with the ball in terms of forward is to kick the ball.
And so right now we're going to see what we got. Is it a stoppage in play? Are they halting play possibly?
Could be a weather alert.
Lightning. All right, so what we're going to do as we wait and see if this is going to be a weather delay, we're going to bring you down to the third man of our broadcast crew down at field level. This is Brian McLogan. He's joined by Paul Broadbent. Brian.
Hey, Paul. You've played a lot of rugby, representing Great Britain and England. What do you think about the rugby action going on here in Jacksonville?
I think it's superb. I mean, I've had some great experiences in my time throughout Rugby League. I've coached and played internationally, and I now work with Italy, and the development of the game is great. And to come along and see this sort of environment and see the guys playing with such a commitment, and the quality of the game is really impressive as well. They're playing some really good stuff. I think the flight at the moment are getting a little bit on the edges, and the movement of the balls, challenging them a little bit, challenging the Axemen. I think that it's still a game, it's still out there, but I just think that the occasion's brilliant. The way that the guys that are organising the USA Rugby League need a lot of credit for the atmosphere that they're creating, and the way that the game's expanding. I think it's superb to see the game. I come from what you'd call a heartland of Rugby League, which is where I was born and bred, Rugby League, and now to see it expanding into new territory and see people playing it at a really good level, it's really impressive, and I think that it's a real credit to everybody that's involved in the organisation and the players and everything that they're giving it such a such a real quality profile.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. All right, back to you guys.
Brian, thank you very much. Excellent work there. We are officially in a weather delay very early in the second quarter of play. There's 18:39 in the second quarter, 12-0 Philadelphia. And let's first of all talk about what's going on the field before we talk about some other stuff here, and whether this delay might actually work maybe in Jacksonville's favor. I don't know. They're already down 12-0, but they needed to maybe talk it over, almost use this as another halftime for them.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with the weather here, and if we're hearing something else that's coming from a different location in terms of what's headed our way, but definitely not the interruption that the Philadelphia fight wanted. The Axemen, they'll look at this as an opportunity to really come together, and boy, oh boy, they're going to need that catch of breath, and who knows, maybe some fresh legs will help turn things around for them.
I've mentioned that it was very hot and humid. The humidity, of course, in Jacksonville, nothing new around these parts. It pretty much rains every single day for about 4 consecutive months in the summertime. And as for the weather, it is beautiful out right now. Not a drop of rain at the moment. A little warm, but not too unbearable. The problem right now is kind of behind us, roughly at the football field here at the University of North Florida. You can hear some thunder in the distance. You can see a small amount of lightning in the distance. It is precautionary, of course, but when you hear thunder, when you see lightning, they're going to have to make some sort of weather delay. So here we are, meanwhile, up in the scaffolding, a perfect, safe place for the two of us to be, Steve.
Absolutely.
Right
there's no chance of us whatsoever getting struck by lightning. I can hear some thunder in the background. For the fans who are watching this on TV, you see the blue skies. I'm sure it's difficult to understand that there's a weather delay, but we can hear it, we can see it, and hopefully it'll blow over.
And so we'll have a little bit of time to kill here as well. I shouldn't use kill. It's not necessarily the proper term.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about the USA Rugby League. It certainly gives us an opportunity to do that, not just focusing on the Axemen, not just focusing on the fight, but the league as a whole. It goes all the way up from Boston, goes all the way down to Tampa, and I don't know how many people know that, but it's an East Coast-based league. I believe it's 11 teams, if I'm not mistaken, for the time being. You're on the USA RL board. Tell us about your role with USA Rugby League and what we see now and maybe a little bit of what we see in the future?
So the role with the league is essentially it's an 11-team competition, everything from youth all the way up to our 11-team competition. This year we have applied for the International Federation affiliation, where hopefully we'll get the nod, and then we'll be able to support the USA team and play future internationals in this country, which would be great.
That would be incredible. As for a possible expansion, look, everything's got to be done slow. You can't just go willy-nilly into it, I know that. But I got the feeling that 11 teams isn't where you want to end. Do you have a short-term plan? Do you have a long-term plan for Rugby League?
So much of this is going to depend on what the International Federation does in terms of them going ahead and giving us the nod. But we expect it to go through, and when that happens, there are a number of teams who are waiting to then apply to the league.
All right, before we talk a little bit more about some of USA Rugby League, let's look at some of the first quarter highlights. It's going to be almost all Philadelphia with their highlights thus far. They're the ones who have scored on the couple of tries, but it did start very early for Jacksonville with this tremendous hit from Joe Eicher. That was a tone-setting tackle, at least what we thought was a tone-setting tackle in about the first 2 minutes of play.
Absolutely. Look at the Axemen there, getting in, and the tackles there. Philadelphia, we thought the Garvey was hurt, but he seemed to get up, and he's been playing great all day.
And since then, it really has been all Philadelphia. You can look at the pure physicality of this sport. People in America love football. If you love football, I don't know how you can't love this. Unfortunately for Jacksonville fans, you cannot love this try that we're looking here from John Lyons. He had a lot of daylight up the right-hand side to convert what was the second try of the game for Philadelphia. That, of course, on the Kill Cliff replay.
Yeah, you guys don't go too far. It's going to blow over.
So we're talking about whether we're going to have a long delay or not from the weather. Don't know at this point in time. It is 12-0 Philadelphia early on in the early on in the second quarter of play. I think they just announced a 30-minute weather delay, not optimum for this game. Normally about a 2-hour contest. They either play two 40-minute halves or 4 20-minute quarters. Because of the heat today, they were going to go with 4 20-minute quarters.
Shining star of the
Just didn't realize that it was going to be this kind of situation. So we are going to be able to go to a break at this point in time. We'll have to come back at a certain point in time. It is a weather delay here in Jacksonville as the Philadelphia Fight lead the Jacksonville Axemen 12-0. There's 18:39 to go in the second quarter. We'll come back soon, try and give you a weather update, almost like watching a baseball game at this point. Weather delay, stay tuned for details. With Steve Williams, Arlie Johnson with you, Brian McLogan down below. We'll be back in just a moment. This is the USA Rugby League National Championship game. We're back at the University of North Florida. Arlie Johnson along with Steve Williams. You can see Brian McLogan down below as well, our sideline reporter. We are early in the second quarter of the USA Rugby League National Championship game. The Philadelphia Fight have a 12-0 lead over the Jacksonville Axemen. They had a ton of momentum until this, a weather delay. Thunder and lightning off in the distance. It's not affecting the field itself right now, nor the stands. There's no rain at all at the moment. However, hearing the rain, hearing the thunder, hearing the lightning, that is going to create a little bit of a factor. And so we have a nice long delay. While we have this delay, let's see if we can head down to our sideline reporter, and we're going to talk a little bit about injuries and rugby and how they are affected. Brian, let's head down to you at field level.
Hi, guys. I'm with Dr. Kevin Murphy with Heekin Orthopedic. Doctor, tell us a little bit about some of the guys that come into you as far as the rugby injuries and, what you see as far as the game in general, and then also what you guys are able to do with them.
Well, we get a lot of shoulder problems. It's basically football without pads. They have some of the guys wear small shoulder pads, but you'll see a lot of the guys with a big bump in their shoulder where their AC joints get separated, and a lot of them don't get fixed. You don't always fix those, but it's a painful thing that lasts for a while, and most of the time doesn't need surgery, but we see a lot of shoulder issues with them. We see bicep tendon tears. We've seen a lot of ankle injuries. It's the whole spectrum that you see in any kind of contact sport.
Right. You got a lot of guys that are returning as well, return patients?
Oh, yeah. Well, Matt Thornton, one of the big guys here, he's had multiple things that I've taken care of. We patch him back together, and he's back out here. They're warriors, and they keep going. And a lot of these guys, unfortunately, they are worried. They don't want to come in.
Right.
So that's part of their issue. They got a lot of chronic injury they don't take care of. But they got a lot of knee injuries, shoulder injuries, ankles, same things you see in any of the contact sports.
All right. Thank you very much. Back to you guys.
Brian, thank you very much. First thing that jumped out at me is, you get shoulder injuries, but, the players don't care. They don't even bother getting them checked out sometimes. I mean, that'll give you an idea of just how tough these guys are. What happens on the field, much more important. If they're going to play through pain, they play through pain.
Absolutely. They're a lot like ice hockey players. These guys, they just want to get back out there. They're running on adrenaline. The only thing they really stop with these days now are the concussions. Just like the NFL, they're cracking down on the concussions. They want to make sure the player's health maintains. But anything else, it's fair game.
In football, American style, everybody's got a helmet, everybody's got a face mask. Here, almost never see it. There is a padded device that you can put on your head. I don't know if it's a macho thing to not wear it. I don't know what the deal is. I mean, maybe some for the old rugby footage. You might see guys with their ears taped so that way they don't get them torn apart in the field of play or in the scrum. But really, pads, just not happening here.
There's a lot of stereotypes that go with rugby players, and we know that. But this is a different type of rugby player. Rugby league is a different game that's played at an elite level. It's an elite type of endurance athlete. It's almost like a UFC fighter. These guys want to go 80 minutes, pound for pound. They're going to be punching, hitting, tackling, running. This is a different type of athlete that really is quite foreign for American soil.
Yeah, and it's a total dedication to the sport, just as it would be for any other sport, no matter what your craft is, I suppose. These rugby league players across the board, they've got the passion for it, they've got the zest for it, and this is why they have reached the top level in USA Rugby League. Again, we're in a weather delay here in Jacksonville at the University of North Florida. Thunder and lightning off in the distance. No rain yet, but we do hear the thunder and lightning out off the field of play. We are early in the second quarter of the USA Rugby League National Championship game. It's the Philadelphia Fight 12, the Jacksonville Axemen nothing. Philadelphia looking to become two-time champions. They are the defending champions, 3 times total, but 2 in a row. As for Jacksonville, they won the title in 2012. They lost in the finals to Philadelphia last year, 28-22. And right now it's Philadelphia looking for 3 titles in the last 4 years. Jacksonville trying to gain their second title in a 3-year period.
And don't count the Axemen out. 2 years ago when they won the championship, they were down 12 points to 0 and managed to come back and win.
All right, we're going to head back down to the field level as we have the Jacksonville Axemen's Drew Slover joining us as well. We're going to head down field level to Brian McLogan once again, talking about what it took to try and get this championship game going here in Jacksonville. Brian, down to you.
Okay, I'll get down. Hey guys, I'm with Drew Slover, the general manager of the Jacksonville Axemen. Drew, we got a good game going on here, 12-0, unfortunately, but we got a lot of fans. What do you look forward to coming up here in this rest of the game?
Well, I'm looking forward to a win. I mean, it's only 12 points, and this game can turn around faster than you can imagine. So our guys are pretty pumped about this game, and they're going to come out and they're going to throw in some big hits. And I think the game's going to change pretty dramatically from here on out.
Okay. Well, very good, guys. There you have it. Back to you.
Brian, thank you very much. Steve, I'll take it to you in terms of trying to get back into a game. You're a former rugby player as well. Let's talk a little bit about how you get momentum back. Not necessarily that easy to do, but you've certainly been on this side where you've been down as a player. Go back to your playing days. What does it take to come back from a deficit like this, get the momentum swinging in your favor?
The message from the coach will be straightforward. Keep it simple. Hang on to the ball. Run it up the middle, and then when you start getting yards, throw the ball out wide. Philadelphia Fight, they're not going to be happy with this break. They're going to look at this as a lost opportunity. The Axemen, 2 years ago, they were down 12-0. They managed to come back and win the championship against Boston. Let's see if they can do it again today.
And I got to think that Jacksonville head coach Matt Keeley is going to say exactly that over to his teammates. To keep in mind, I say teammates because not only is he head coach, but he's a player coach as well, so that's why they are teammates. He's going to talk about that, no question about it. We've been here before. We know how to come back from this. This game is far from over. You're very early in this contest. Looks like we're about to try and get this game going again. The Axemen already back on the field. Philadelphia just about to come back on the field. Very quickly, Steve, before we come back, let's talk a little bit about Rugby League. And for those who want to learn more about rugby, how to get involved, how to learn more, where do you go to try and learn a little bit more about the USA Rugby League?
Of course, social media, facebook.com/USA Rugby League. And, of course, the USA Rugby League website is usarl.com. Has everything there from the rules of the game, teams all the way from Boston down to Florida. It's a summer league. It starts in May with the Nines tournament. Finishes, of course, at the end of August.
And for those watching on CW17 locally, they play here at the University of North Florida during the summertime. Phenomenal environment, family environment as well. Great prices on everything, including tickets. And you can tell by the amount of people that have come here to this game tonight, huge Axemen crowd. They just haven't seen any points yet from Jacksonville, as it looks like we are just about to start play. Just a few seconds left before we get going. They're going to start right about where the Philadelphia fight, not right about, exactly where Philadelphia had the ball. We'll start with a scrum. We are back underway. Thanks for joining us and sticking with us as Jacksonville gets a tremendous tackle right out of the chute to get things started.
And that was a fumble in both directions, a double knock-on, but the Axemen will get the ball when they pack down the scrum. Let's see if they can take advantage of this. That was the exact start they wanted.
It is 12-0 Philadelphia. Thanks to our viewers for sticking it out. Thanks to the fans for sticking it out as well. Great work by our crew, including Brian McLogan down below, our sideline reporter, with a couple of special guests during that stoppage and play, and thanks to our crew behind the scenes as well.
That's the perfect start by the Axemen. Great, solid run.
Excellent work there from Jacksonville's Joe Eicher. Pitching now to the left is Jacksonville. They're over the 30-meter mark, trying to gain the 40. Can't quite do it just yet. Also, during that weather delay, the skies have really started to come down in terms of it going from bright to dark, as we are about to go under the lights almost entirely at this point. It's actually a very moderate climate at this point.
It's quite mild.
Jacksonville now over midfield, but it is their last play. A low rolling kick going towards the touchline. The fight take it from there. That's Mike Timpano. Can't quite get to the 10-meter mark. It was well defended on the kick team from Jacksonville defensively.
Great kick and chase by the Axemen. They'll look to hold the fight down in their own territory. This is a big set of 6 for both teams.
Maybe getting an extra few meters on that run there is for Philadelphia. Trying to cut to the right. Quick move, cutting back to the left. Got about 10 meters on that run. Still not quite at the 30-meter mark. Nice physical play there. A little bit of pushing and shoving after the fact.
They don't mean anything by it.
Oh, just exchanging some pleasantries, nothing more than that.
There's Philadelphia running the ball again wide. They're going to spread the ball all day. They want to wear down this Axemen team. They've got fresh legs right now, but it'll catch up them quickly if they don't tackle them.
That was an excellent run of about 15 meters on the play. Now pitching to the right-hand side.
Great hit there by the Axemen.
Stopping them dead in their tracks.
5th tackle.
They are over midfield. Philadelphia looks like they're about to kick. Left-footed kick, not a good kick at all. With a little bit of wind, goes up in the air. Well fielded as well from Jacksonville. Making that grab was Kevin Waltham. That was an over-the-shoulder grab. Might have looked easy. It was anything but. And now it's Jacksonville with excellent field position to start this possession.
That was a poor kick by the fight there.
Push to the face.
Axemen, silly turnover there. Just the slightest of fumble. The Axemen lose the ball. All the momentum taken away.
That was Matt Keeley with a little bit of a push there as well on the Kill Cliff replay. We'll see where that fumble occurred. And it was right there. That's all that it takes.
Yeah, the Axemen unlucky there. A little bit of work in the tackle there from the Philadelphia fight caused the bobble.
Steven Kruger with that turnover. Turnovers have been a major factor. Every time Jacksonville has appeared to be threatening, they've given the ball up, and it's not necessarily been forced turnovers as well. They've really been unforced.
Simple mistakes. They'll cost you every time.
12-0 Philadelphia. Not quite 5 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Arlie Johnson with you along with Steve Williams. That looked like a forward pass, and they are going to call it as such. Turnover for the fight. I believe it's only their second of the game. They've really been very disciplined in their play, and now it's Jacksonville. Excellent run on their first play of downs. A good 10 to 12 meters on that first run. They're already in Philadelphia territory, trying to catch the fight out of position. Just as I say that, the fight form tackle there. Barely anything on that run.
Again,
and another
Axemen,
turnover.
This is so unlike the Axemen doing these sort of simple mistakes. It's such a game of momentum.
They're not arguing the calls as well. As we look at the replay once again, I think it was Kevin Waltham that time. Again, just watch for the bobble. The second it goes forward, second he drops it, that's it.
That's it. That's all it takes. Possession back with the fight.
So the fight are going to roll the ball into the scrum. That's Tom Donnie rolling it in.
6 more downs. What will they do? They'll spread it wide.
Trying to cut back to the middle. Thought he had a seam. He was definitely mistaken. Jacksonville had that bottled up.
Look for the first couple of tackles. They'll run the ball up the middle. Once they get set, expect them to throw the ball wide. That's great defense from the Axemen there, holding them back.
Almost nothing, just pushing that pile back 2 against 1. Jacksonville just using their strength. However, not quite ready for the startup again. The play of the ball looked like Jacksonville wasn't quite ready to go. Philadelphia got an extra 5-7 meters out of it.
The Axemen aren't done.
Philadelphia looking to take advantage.
Looking to pitch to the left side. One-on-one tackle. Can they get him down? No. And a lot of extra ground covered there from the fight. They're now into Jacksonville territory. They're across the 40. Pitching to the right side, running out of plays. Low pitch, but it is fielded very well. A lot of space.
The line.
He's a huge man. Pitch to the right side. Philadelphia's got something going. They're inside the 20, inside the 10. Finally tackled there from Jacksonville. Not sure how many plays they've got left. Not more than one or two.
This is the last
pitch
one.
To the left side. Will they try and go for the try? Long pitch to the left side. It bounces. Does it go forward? No, they're still in possession. Jacksonville looking for the tackle. They have the tackle.
Great defense by the Axemen. They're holding the Philadelphia team down. They'll get the ball back now.
That was their 6th and final down. Again, equating it to football, you have 4 downs, and you can either kick it or go for the score on that final down. Philadelphia chose to score, not able to convert. Jacksonville gains possession because of it. Now on the right-hand side.
Here we
for the
go.
first time really all night, a little bit of space for Jacksonville. Cutting back to the right-hand side, not down yet, but near midfield. That's the longest run of the day for the Axemen. That's from Joe Bobbin. Now to the left, looking to use some momentum. Good speed there from the Axemen. They are in Philadelphia territory. Field position, a big swing thanks to that run from Joe Bobbin. That was clearly their longest run of the day.
Philadelphia are holding the line quite well, though, but this is where the other team wears one down.
And really, again, for the Jacksmen, we've said it a number of times, including at least twice in this second quarter, avoid the silly mistakes, and they can be right back in this game. They're near the 30-meter mark. They will kick it from there. This was their final kick. High kick. Can Jacksonville get underneath it? It's going to be tough. The Axemen have possession.
And they've got the ball back there right on the Philadelphia line.
They're inside the 5. Can they gain to the try line? Pitching it back. Right at the line. Excellent camera work here. Ball is loose. What's going to happen?
Run on the line too quick. That pass just a little too high there. Axemen turning over the ball. Scrum will pack down. Another missed opportunity.
And so it's going to be Philadelphia putting it in. You could almost see the Axemen pressing a little bit like they were just trying to push too hard. Almost like a baseball player maybe in a slump, squeezing the bat a little bit too tight there.
Yeah, he should have taken that pass there. That was a simple pass and run over the line. Not the Axemen's day.
When you're right up at the goal line, you want to be able to pace yourself a little bit, but it's awful hard to do that. They really seem to rush that play when they didn't necessarily need to. And so the Fight have it once again, avoiding being scored upon for the first time. They're still pitching the shutout. 12-0 Fight with 11 minutes to go in the first half of play. Philadelphia now near their own 30-meter mark, trying to get out of the shadow of their own goal line. Pitch to the left. It is a poor pitch. Does it go forward? They fall on it. Where's the ball going to go? It is loose. Jacksonville has it with some open space. Turnover in favor of Jacksonville. They're already inside the Philadelphia 10. Cutting to the right-hand side. Can he get to the try line? He's inside the 5. He's not quite at the line just yet. They just have to be disciplined, and they hopefully will be able to put 4 points on the board. Pitch to the left. Losing some meterage on the play there is Jacksonville, but it is much more towards the center of play. Now cutting to the right again. Good pitch with some space to the line. Did he get there? Right at the stripe. Kevin Watham is saying he got the try.
No,
what are the officials saying?
The official is saying a double movement. It looks like he was just short of the line, and then he carried the ball over the line.
What will the Kill Cliff replay tell us? Kevin Watham thought that he had the 4-point try. What will the replay tell us? A pitch or two short and then pushing the ball forward.
That is a double movement in the rules. Once the ball is grounded before the line, you cannot pick the ball up and carry it over the line.
If you were in his shoes, do you think he had any ability to bring that ball forward before he was able to ground it?
No, the rule is designed, if the player is stopped and they pick it up, then it's a double movement. Good refereeing.
It was the right call. There's no question about it. Another poor play, however, from Philadelphia. It looked like that ball went a little bit forward, but not necessarily the case. Play on, say the officials. Yeah. So the Axemen were about literally an inch or two away from getting on the scoreboard. They were that close. Excellent replay, by the way. Excellent camera work.
Great camera work. Philadelphia hasn't quite settled down either. Even though the Axemen's making mistakes, Philadelphia, they're not playing like they were in the first quarter. I think this break has ruined their momentum a bit.
Yeah, there's no question that since the weather delay, the Axemen have, without question, held the advantage, but you have to capitalize on those situations as well. They've been inside the 5-meter mark twice,
on two
come away with nothing.
Now.
Philadelphia with a high kick. He was hit as he kicked as well. Getting that hit was Matt Keeley, the player coach. Ball is loose. Philadelphia trying to get it back. They do fall on it.
The referee's calling a knock on. He'll play the advantage. He'll put the scrum back down on the Philadelphia 40-yard line.
Who's bringing it in here?
Philadelphia will get the feed. They'll get possession back.
So Jacksonville not able to field that kick properly.
It wasn't a good kick by Philadelphia either.
No.
He should have done a better job with that. He didn't have to run under the ball like that.
You know, oftentimes in American football, you talk about turnovers and how they can affect the game. It's the biggest and most critical way in how things affected. Same thing here in rugby league. Simple mistakes. You make simple mistakes, they can be magnified so much.
Simple mistakes cost you points.
And right now, it is the fight, rolling the ball into the scrum. They will gain possession. They're already inside the Jacksonville 30-meter mark.
That was an ugly scrum there, but they won it.
Just because you feed it in doesn't guarantee that you end up with possession. It just certainly does help your cause without question. So Philadelphia on the left-hand side, he's got a man if he can get it to him, but the Axemen held him up. Ball is loose as well. That ball is down on the ground. The Axemen with it. Are they going to say play on? I haven't heard a whistle yet. Are they playing on?
The referee's not calling a penalty. I think he's saying that he lost it cold. This will suit the Axemen well. They'll pack the scrum down. They'll get the feed, get the ball back.
Joe Bobbin was trying to just run with that ball and try and gain some extra space. Let's see what we got on the replay for Philadelphia. It was one of their interchanges, Tristan Silk, trying to get that ball behind him. You could tell he's trying to get his arm free. But look at the strip there from the Axemen. Tremendous defensive work there from Jacksonville's Josh Koch.
The Axemen unlucky not to be penalized. You're not allowed to strip the ball when there's two players in the tackle. They're lucky they got away with this one. Let's see what they can do with it.
You think that would have been a penalty on Jacksonville?
That would have been a penalty.
Uncalled by the officials. Nearly another bobble there from Jacksonville, but he does hold on to it this time. For the Axemen, that was Will Mueller, as Knight has fallen. Meanwhile, Jacksonville pitch to the left side, stolen by Philadelphia. And we've got a stoppage in play. That was very nearly football. It would have been a pick 6. Here it would have been a pick 4.
Yeah, straight under the post. He was looking straight at the beer tent and the post in between. He was going to go.
On the Kill Cliff replay, tremendous anticipation from Philadelphia. Didn't corral the ball the way that he wanted to, but if that ball ends up in his hands, he is gone.
Shut the gate.
Instead, it's going to be a scrum. Philadelphia feeds in. 6:15 to go in the first half. It's 12-0 fight. The fight of Philadelphia with the lead. No scoring in this second quarter. All the damage was done in the opening 20 minutes of play.
Both teams finding it hard to get rhythm here. These turnovers are uncharacteristic of both teams. Again, another costly possession lost by the Philadelphia fight. They're not the same after that break.
Jacksonville has certainly played much better, but not enough to cut into this deficit.
Axemen have to take advantage of this one.
Big collision just across the 40-meter mark for the Axemen. That was Stephen Hill, I believe. Cutting to the right side, a little bit of space here for Jacksonville. Good pitch to the right side. Excellent tackle as well from Philadelphia's Patrick Quirk. But the Axemen with it, they're inside the Philadelphia 40. Kick to open space. Jacksonville fighting for it. It will bounce again. Philadelphia trying to field it. They're just going to fall on it in their own end zone.
And that's a great kick by Keeley. Keeping Philadelphia pinned in behind their own goal line. They'll kick now. Axemen will get the ball back. Drop kick from under the post.
One thing you can tell me better than I can for sure, Steve, now that we've gone from day to night in the course of that weather delay, does that change things? Even as simple as, your eyes adjusting to playing under the lights as opposed to playing under the sunshine?
I think so. I think that will be the tactics of both coaches.
There's an exchange for the Axemen. We've got Jay DeFow coming in for the Axemen. Heading back to the sidelines is going to be Taylor Youngling on the substitution.
Big kick from the fight. Look at him running hard.
Tremendous collision at midfield. Getting right back up and running yet again for the Axemen.
I'm wondering if that ball's just a little bit slippery.
It's very possible. We haven't had any rain yet, but that doesn't mean that ball can't be a little slippery without question. Axemen 40 meters away from the touchline. They've got a long way to go. They do have some space. Good feed to the right side. Not a lot of speed, but certainly a lot of power from Jay DeFow inside the 30-meter mark. Tackled there. He foots it back to Matt Keeley, their player coach, to the left side with a little bit of space. Cut back to the center. A little bit of an opening. He is at the 20-meter mark. Jacksonville has a long way to go still, but still more space. Good pitch to the right side. DeFow to the 10-meter mark.
Fifth tackle. Let's see what they do. They're going to spread the ball to the left.
They got to go 10 meters in one play if they're going to score here. This
They're going
is
to
their
the
one
right.
chance. Short kick. Will they field it? It is deflected away and out of bounds from Philadelphia.
Bit of pushing and shoving there. Philadelphia knocking the ball dead. Axemen will get the ball back.
It was right at the pylon. I believe that for Philadelphia, I want to say that was Mike Timpano. Maybe the Killcliff replay will tell us otherwise. But it looked like that was a pretty heads-up play to intentionally knock that ball out of play.
Absolutely. He did the right thing, just swatting it clear. Axemen will enjoy this, getting possession back.
That's great touch on that little pooch kick as well.
Knocking it over the sideline, not in the in-goal area. That brings the ball back to the 10-yard line. Axemen will get the feed. Let's see what they can do with it.
Assuming they do receive this feed through the scrum. Fresh set of 6 downs as well. They do have it. They're 10 meters away from their first points of the day. Can they get it? Excellent tackle from Philadelphia on the first play, but they are right up the middle. They can work to either side of the field. The Axemen can. Down 12-0, looking to get on the board. They're inside the 5-meter mark, right at the pylon, right at the post. Low pitch, but it is recovered and received well. Excellent tackle from the Philadelphia fight.
He did well to stay in play there.
He is short in stature, but very, very...
The referee looks like he's called a penalty. Something's happened.
Philadelphia was trying to move on a turnover. They're not going to get it. It's going to come right back to the middle of field. We're also down towards the end of the first half. Touch for the Axemen, cutting to the left side, right at the pylon. Can he touch it down? With it,
He might be in.
That's number 10, Stephen
And the
Hill.
Axemen are on the
Can he get
board.
it over the try line? It is.
It's game on.
4-point try for the Jacksonville Axemen. Stephen Hill on the board. The crowd is into it for the first time. 2:14 to go in the first half. Listen to them go crazy here at the University of North Florida. It's 12-4 Philadelphia. Maybe the momentum has swung. Jacksonville certainly has had the edge of play in this second quarter. Finally, they have results to show for this momentum.
The camera angle there, running onto the ball. Fought hard. Philadelphia having to defend for 4 sets of tackles. That can weigh you down. This is where the heat could come in. Philadelphia no longer fresh legs. Axemen, the momentum is behind them.
One of the interchanges for the Axemen, Stephen Hill, getting that 4-point try. He was tackled with his stomach up and the ball up. He had to twist his body and really contort it to make sure that he grounded that ball into the end zone.
Great effort. Axemen didn't want to miss out on that opportunity.
And so the Axemen looking for a 2-point conversion, trying to cut this deficit in half. Remember, for those new to the sport of rugby, a try worth 4 points, a conversion worth 2 points. Kicking it on a fairly sharp angle to the right, but not extremely sharp. Low and in his stance for the Axemen. Kick is up.
And he's
Kick
got
is
it.
good.
And
we are down to 12-6. Running clock here, so we are at exactly 1 minute left in the first half. That is exactly what the Axemen needed. Still a lot of play with the second half to come. It is now Philadelphia 12, Jacksonville 6 in the final minute of play in the first half. Hey, we talk about it in American football. You've been here long enough. I know you're Australian, but you know you're American football. 2-minute drill. That's exactly what happened there for Jacksonville. You can take those things into the locker room and really do some damage with it.
Absolutely. Their confidence will be high going at halftime. They know they're back in the game. Philadelphia, they're going to look at this as a missed opportunity. They were on top there. The Axemen, they were really struggling.
And it's amazing what something like a weather delay can do. There's no doubt that Philadelphia is going to say, no, that wasn't a factor. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a chance that Jacksonville would say, yeah, we used that to our advantage, and look what happened. Now we're right back in it. High, deep kick from the fight. That's a superb kick.
That's a
right
great
at the post. Also well fielded from Jacksonville.
Don't
in the
argue.
final 30 seconds. Jacksonville deep in their own zone. Really what they want to do right now is just nothing silly. No turnover deep in your own zone. It's going to be a long way to go to try and get some points. Just make sure you don't give any up.
Coach Keeley will be impressed with them for the last 10 minutes. They've really held the ball. Again, it's the simple things. Hang on to the ball, make the other team work for it. Early kick. Here they go, flying down the side.
It is picked up on a hop by Philadelphia. Final 5 seconds of the first half. Looking for one last tackle is Jacksonville. That ball is loose. Philadelphia gets it back. He is touched down there, and I believe that's going to be the end of it.
That'll be halftime.
First half is over. A late try and 2-point conversion from the Jacksonville Axemen has it at 12-6 after the half. Philadelphia, 12 points in the first quarter of play. Then a long weather delay. Thunder and lightning really seemed to switch the momentum in Jacksonville's favor. The Axemen, after a couple of times inside the 5-meter mark, not able to convert. Finally, with about a minute to go in the first half, they do convert. They make it 12-6 as we go to halftime. Before we move down to our break at halftime, let's bring it down to our sideline reporter, Brian McLogan, down with the Jacksonville Axemen, Spinner Howland.
Spinner, Axemen are down 12-6. What do you think Coach Keeley's going to tell the guys to get them ready for that second half?
Mate, I think he's going to tell them to keep doing what they're doing. Look, the lightning delay helped Philadelphia out. If you took any notice, the defense from the Axemen has actually increased in intensity as the first half went on, and their meters gained after catching the ball and the lines breaks improved and definitely increased after they come back. So I think he's just going to say, stay the course. You're definitely going to say the Axemen fitness right now is telling. The last 10 minutes of that half, Philly definitely had a lot to answer to. So, mate, it'll be the same thing. They'll come out. I think if they stick to the game plan, they need to tidy up some mistakes. They've dropped a few balls at key positions, but other than that, mate, do the same thing, get the roll on. And honestly, I think the Axemen will be quite okay in the second half. Whether the 10 minutes of the first of the bit coming back of the half, mate, it's 30 minutes to rack the score up.
Okay, very good, guys. We're going to go to break now.
Drivers sharing your streets have a duty to drive with care. Restaurants and stores have a duty to make their businesses safe. I'm attorney Joanne Yao, and if you were hurt because of someone's negligence, contact the Yao Law Firm or get my video advice online. Yao Law, focused on protecting businesses and representing the injured.
It's halftime at the University of North Florida in the USA Rugby League National Championship. Halftime show sponsor is JacksArrest.com. JacksArrest.com, the proud sponsors for the Jacksonville Axemen, or Axe Maidens cheerleaders here in Jacksonville. Two undefeated teams, they're playing like it tonight, as it is the Philadelphia Fight with a 12-6 lead over the Jacksonville Axemen. Arlie Johnson, I'm joined here by Steve Williams, and really, we talked about it in the break, really a tale of two quarters. In those first 20 minutes, all Philadelphia. We have a weather delay. Next thing you know, it's like they switched uniforms. It was all Axemen in that second quarter.
As we see the lightning in the background, it definitely struck on the field here. We're able to see a different Axemen team come out after that break. Some simple mistakes in the beginning, but they're able to turn things around. They kept punching away, moving that ball up the middle, kept breaking line, kept wearing them down. 4 sets in a row for the Axemen. That's what they were looking for. Eventually, if they converted into points.
And one thing we really stressed in both quarters was the turnovers. Silly mistakes, not forced turnovers. These were turnovers that could have been avoided. Mostly for Jacksonville, but they really did tighten their game up a little bit towards the end of that first half.
Absolutely, and that'd be the message from both coaches. Hang on to the ball, complete your sets of 6, kick the ball, chase, wear the opposition down. Both teams will want to change or wear the opposition down in their own half.
So let's talk about some halftime analysis. Let's take our into the Philadelphia booth. What would you be if you're their head coach? How do you get that momentum back? Just as we talked about for how do you get momentum back for Jacksonville?
Philadelphia might have to change their tactics a little bit. They were spreading the ball wide. They may look to them be running it up in the middle in the second half. Jacksonville, hey, look what worked. They're probably going to do the same thing again.
And for the Axemen, one of their key contributors we've really heard almost nothing from. That's Apple Pope. He's been here for a long time. We expected him to be a contributor. He hasn't yet. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It might mean that he doesn't show up in the second half, too. That could really work against Jacksonville. It might be that they light a fighter under his tail at halftime and say, look, you got to get in gear. We need you. This is a championship game.
Apple's used to doing a lot of tackling. He's a tackling machine, but you would want to see Apple in the offensive line, breaking some lines, feeding people key balls.
Some of the first half highlights brought to you by Kill Cliff, as well as we'll go through some of the replays from this first half. Like we talked about, Steve, tale of two different quarters. Early on, it was Philadelphia, all the momentum. They were also pretty much mistake-free in the opening 20 minutes, and you can tell by the replays here, the physicality of this game, just brutal. This hit from Jacksonville, unbelievable tackling there from the Axemen. But it was Philadelphia that got on the board first with a couple of tries and then a costly penalty, don't forget, at the end of that first quarter that gave Philadelphia basically a free pair of points as well.
And this was the play that started it all. The Axemen's first set of 6, where they continued just wearing the other team down. Philadelphia, they weren't running back to the line quickly. They were starting to walk.
You just talked about it, wearing the other team down. And we talked about it as we look at Jacksonville's try here. That, of course, coming from the Axemen with about a minute left in the first half. That made it 12-6 after the conversion. You just mentioned about wearing him down. We also talked in the pregame show about how the heat and humidity could work to Jacksonville's favor. Look, this is an 80-minute ball game. 40 minutes are down. If you're the Axemen and you're their head coach, Matt Keeley, there's got to be a conversation at the half about, look, there's 40 minutes left. They're in our turf. Wear this team down. We got them.
hang on to the ball, run, complete your sets, kick the ball and chase. That will be the message for the Axemen. Let's hope they can really, with this crowd behind them now, they've got a bit of confidence, get back into the game.
And for Philadelphia, much as the lightning delay, I think, helped Jacksonville, I think this halftime might end up helping out the Philadelphia fight because they were on their heels. There's no question about it. It was clear that the fight took advantage of the first quarter. It was equally clear that the Axemen took advantage of the second quarter. Now they got to try and go back to equal footing going into halftime and getting ready for the third quarter.
Again, 40 minutes is a long time. This is an endurance sport. It takes one guy to run the ball. It takes 2 to 3 people to tackle him. If you have possession with the ball, then you can do a lot of damage just by wearing the team down. This one might go down to the wire.
We hope so. It went down to the wire last year, 28-22 for Philadelphia. They beat the Axemen last year. They're the defending champions. The Axemen won the title in 2012. We talked about it at the pregame show. These two teams know nothing but championships. These are the only two teams that have won the USA Rugby League National Championship. It will happen again tonight. We're 40 minutes away from finding out who that's going to be. We'll come back, getting ready for the second half of play. We're at the half at the University of North Florida. USA Rugby League National Championship game has Philadelphia on top of Jacksonville, 12-6.
Drivers sharing your streets have a duty to drive with care. Restaurants and stores have a duty to make their businesses safe. I'm attorney Joanne Yao, and if you were hurt because of someone's negligence, contact the Yao Law Firm or get my video advice online. Yao Law, focused on protecting businesses and representing the injured.
During my hip replacement surgery at St. Vincent's, countless people went out of their way for me. First, Dr. Duffy did a phenomenal job with the surgery. Then there was Raymond, helped me break the record for most steps after hip replacement. Was I supposed to get a trophy for that? The MVP award, though, Angela Todd, a real saint. Late one night when I was hungry, couldn't sleep, I'm laying in bed, she brings me some chocolate pudding. What, I was hungry.
St. Vincent's Healthcare, above, beyond, because.
This is the USA Rugby League National Championship game. The Jacksonville Axemen trailing the Philadelphia Fight by a score of 12-6. Arlie Johnson joined by Steve Williams as Jacksonville gaining their first points just before halftime as they cut the 12-0 deficit in half, now at 12-6. Just about ready for the second half. Before we do, let's go down to our sideline reporter, Brian McLogan, down below with Tony Feasy, the New Zealand team manager.
When you guys are cheering.
All right, Tony. So this is your third trip back to Jacksonville. You guys have been on a lot of tours. What keeps on bringing you back to Jacksonville?
Oh, look, it's got to be the warm welcome we receive from the people of Jacksonville. And the guys here, Daryl Howland, Spinner, Drew Slover, they've done a fantastic job promoting rugby league. And, of course, we want to come down and help them do that.
Very good. All right, back up to you guys up top.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
We are just about ready for the second half of play. We're going to take another quick break. We will come back. Second half is underway. It's just about to be underway. We've got a very exciting 40 minutes of rugby action for you as we find out who your 2014 USA Rugby League champion is. 12-6, the Philadelphia Fight have the advantage over the Jacksonville Axemen. Back in a moment as we get ready for the second half.
Drivers sharing your streets have a duty to drive with care. Restaurants and stores have a duty to make their businesses safe. I'm attorney Joanne Yao, and if you were hurt because of someone's negligence, contact the Yao Law Firm or get my video advice online. Yao Law, focused on protecting businesses and representing the injured.
We're ready for the second half of the USA Rugby League National Championship. The third quarter sponsor, also your replay sponsor. It's the Kill Cliff Sports Recovery Drink. Kill Cliff Sports Recovery Drink. Test positive for awesome. And visit killcliff.com. Second half underway. We are 40 minutes away from declaring your USA Rugby League national champion. 12-6, Philadelphia in the lead. Jacksonville receives on the second half. They are first in possession, down by 6, now at their own 20-meter mark. Arlie Johnson with your play-by-play tonight, joined by Steve Williams. He's the guy with the Australian accent.
Thanks, Arlie. What a great first half. Very much a game of 2 quarters. Philadelphia straight out of the gate.
Great tackle from Philadelphia. Forced the ball free instantly. Quick change from defense to offense for the Fight. They're already in Jacksonville territory. And it was Matt Thornton that gave up the ball. He just held it too loose.
I've got to believe with these humid conditions and the players being sweaty, this ball's probably very slippery.
Good run from Philadelphia, too. They're already inside the 20-meter mark. Tackle by Jacksonville, but that was an excellent start from Philadelphia. We're still in the opening minute of the second half. Pitching to the left-hand side for the Fight. trying to split a couple of tacklers. Poor pass, but it goes right to another teammate. Didn't plan it that way, but it worked out very fortuitously for the fight. They're inside the 10-meter mark, looking to increase their lead. Trying to get to the try line. Did he get there?
He did. He's over. Simple, easy defensive mistake. They thought he was going to spread the ball wide.
If I'm not mistaken, it was on their 6th and final down as well, as they were able to get the ball over the try line. Not even a minute and a half in to the second half, and Philadelphia now back on top by 10 at 16-6. Really one quick cut. They thought they were going to pass, moved it to the left-hand side, and just grounded a little too easily there from Philly.
Yeah, Tom Dorney, plenty of experience there. He's played the game for many years in Australia. He knew exactly what the Axemen were thinking and decided to run that ball. Simple, easy 4 points. Perfect start for Philadelphia right in the second half. Axemen, simple mistakes. They're costly.
So Tom Dorney gets the 4-point try. Their other try scorers in the first half were John Lyons and Michael Garvey. Now looking to bring the advantage back to 12 is Philadelphia with this kick from left to right. Again, tries worth 4 points, kick conversions worth 2 points. Certainly has the distance. It is pretty breezy, but they are going to call it good. And it goes to 18-6 now in favor of Philadelphia. And you don't want to say it this way from a Jacksonville perspective, but all that momentum that you built for 20 minutes worth of solid play in the second quarter, all of it washed away in a 90-second period of time here to start the third quarter.
It was like we reset the clock. Axemen, they'll be disappointed, but they know they have to get back into it. That was a knock forward. Will the referee call it?
I think Philadelphia was waiting for it to be called, but I don't know if it ever happened. Philadelphia ends up with possession. Or do they? Now they're going to change it. A very late call, but I think it was the right call.
It was technicality there from the referee. That's what we call a... Whoop, just trying to see the play there. But Philadelphia looked like that they were offside when the ball was tapped forward. A player was in front of it that picked the ball up.
So Jacksonville looking to get right back and try and get those 6 points back. They're already inside the 10 because of that turnover from Philadelphia. Cutting to the middle, long pitch. A lot of wind kicking up now, too. It's going to make it hard for these passes to be converted easy. Jacksonville still inside the 10-meter mark. Will they choose the right or left? They choose the right side. Pitch to the right. Do they have some space? Trying to split the defenders. Not able to do so, but they are inside the 5. Back to the left we go as Jacksonville. Long pitch again with a heavy breeze. Very, very difficult to convert long passes right now.
Yeah, they're panicking a little bit, the Axemen. They're trying to do too much. They've got to keep it simple. There's still plenty of time left on the clock there.
When you're in breezy conditions, how much does that change things? Do you tighten up your passing?
Absolutely. You shouldn't be throwing passes like that. I understand everyone wanting to cut out a player and keep the ball moving, but in these windy conditions, they should know better.
And really, it was very, very mild in the first half of play in terms of the wind. Light breeze, it was nice, but certainly not a factor. In the last literally 5 minutes, it has really kicked in, and we got a pretty good gust going right now. It's going from right to left. It would be in favor of Jacksonville if you're looking at it on your television screen. However, that poor pass resulted in a turnover. Philadelphia gets it deep in their own territory, leading 18-6. Not quite 5 minutes gone by in the second half. Philadelphia gets the pitch away before they were tackled off. And a lot of space now for Philadelphia as well. That was a desperation tackle from the Axemen. Could have been a lot more meterage on the play. Oh, what a hit. Tremendous tackle from Matt Thornton of the Jacksonville Axemen. He took a shove as well. He's not happy about it. And he shoves the Philadelphia player back down. Tempers flaring, and I think it's going to be a penalty on Jacksonville.
That's a stupid mistake by Thornton. He knows better than that. It was a great hit. He should have let them play the ball. Instead, he got up in his face. And now the tackle count resets. Philadelphia is going to have advantage.
On the Killcliff replay, the first hit was no problem. It was that second shove that created it. And I think Philadelphia might have had a nice little Academy Award job to make sure he fell down and make sure he got that penalty to go with it.
Absolutely. They knew what they were doing.
Disciplined play by Philadelphia. Matt Thornton, you know he would want that back. He wants that first hit, no question, but he wants that second shove back.
We'll be seeing him again shortly, I'm pretty sure.
So the fight with it now in Jacksonville territory, inside the 40-meter mark. Another trying conversion here could make things very difficult for the Axemen. Critical defensive stand here for Jacksonville. And then a great tackle from the Axemen as well. That's number 15, one of their interchanges. Tim Herf with the tackle. Didn't start the game, but that was a big hit. And another heavy tackle from the Axemen. Playing physical, again trying to wear Philadelphia down. Is there a man down as well? There's a Philadelphia man down. Can't tell who it is. He's on the opposite side of the field, but the trainers are already out tending to him.
There's definitely concern over this.
Let's see what we can see on the Killcliff replay. Heavy hit from Jacksonville. Landed right on top of him as well. That's Roman Lowry for the fight who took that hit.
There was nothing malicious in that tackle there at all, but his head hit the ground first. I think his days might be... I think we've seen the last of him today.
Well, we want to look at the safety of these players first. And like you said, it was a clean hit. Look, it's a physical game, everybody. You got to get used to this. Big hit, yes, his head hit the ground first, but the way that the Axemen defender landed on top of him as well. Looked like he really drove his own shoulder into one of the shoulders of Lowry. I don't want to project on what the injury might be as to whether it was a head, maybe a shoulder, but certainly just drove him straight into the ground, almost like a jackhammer.
Yeah, there was no harm intended in that. Philadelphia, they'll probably put Pat Quirk back at fullback. He's been used to playing fullback position for the fight for many years. And definitely some concern over the player, though. He's moving his legs. That's a good sign.
All his fight teammates right now on one knee. Just thinking of their teammate Roman Lowry as we look at the replay once again. Trying to figure out who the defender was and who the tackler is for the Jacksonville Axemen. Tough to tell on that replay.
Yeah, there was no harm in that tackle at all.
No, definitely
it was a textbook tackle, doing the right thing.
Sitting up on his knees right now, just trying to get his wits about him, and this just gives you an idea of just how tough as nails these guys are. No pads, no nothing, and here they are. You know he's going to want to come back out there. Look, this is a national championship game as we look at this replay once again. I think it was Matt Thornton that got that hit, now looking at the replay once again.
I have a feeling that poor old Roman, he may have to watch the replay. He may have to watch the replay to remember this game. I think he'll be nursing a headache.
It was Joe Eichner who got the hit, number 3, they're saying, who now made that tackle. We've called his name pretty much all night. I think clearly he's been the best defender for Jacksonville tonight. And like you said, nothing malicious about that hit at all. And right now, it's Lowry just trying to get his wits about him at this point as we have another stoppage in play. When we find out a little more, or if we can find out a little more, no question we'll head down to Brian McLogan at some point, who will give us some sort of injury update on him when the time is right. We'll see if we can get a hold of the Philadelphia trainers once play has resumed. Meanwhile, with the stoppage in play for an injury, we can reset things for you a bit. It is the Philadelphia Fight 18, the Jacksonville Axemen 6. 2 unbeaten teams vying for the 2014 USA Rugby League National Championship. Philadelphia are defending champs. These two teams played each other in the finals last year. Philadelphia won that game 28-22. The Jacksonville Axemen won the title in 2012. It was the Fight winning the title before that in 2011 as well. These teams know what it takes to make it to the championship game. They know what it takes to win the championship as well. As finally, Lowry is off the field, we are ready to resume play. And it is the Axemen feeding the ball into the scrum. Nice run on from the first play from Jacksonville. They're already across their own 30-meter mark, and they've got some space. Another good run here. 10 more meters on this run.
And that's what Jacksonville needs to do. Keep it simple. Keep running it up the middle. Run hard.
Oh, what a terrific collision. Excellent work from the Axemen's Tim Herf into Philadelphia territory. Cut back to the left for Jacksonville. They're inside the 40 of Philadelphia now. They really need the next points as they kick the ball high and deep.
And this wind is going to wreak havoc. The bounce.
Oh, definitely in Jacksonville's favor.
Oh, what a great tackle.
Philadelphia receives it on a bounce, but an instant tackle from Jacksonville in the end zone. They really got the benefit of a good bounce once that ball hit the turf. I thought it was going across the end line.
And this is definitely, the wind is going to be in a huge favor for the Axemen. Look at this spot. Oh, great run here.
Look at that heavy collision. All the speed that Tim Herf picked up. He had an extra 10 meters to run with. Again, with no pads at all. It's just shoulder to shoulder. Not shoulder pad to shoulder pad, but shoulder to shoulder. drilled him right in the chest, as the Axemen will get it back on a very low and poor kick from Philadelphia as well. Immediate pitch. Look at this bowling ball moving forward. How do you stop that freight train? That's Stephen Hill who has the try for the Axemen.
They'll get confidence from that run.
Why in the world would anybody want to try and tackle that coming at you?
There'll be plenty of ice used tonight.
They're inside the Philadelphia 20.
That's great tackle by the fight there.
But it is the Axemen knocking on the door, but they need another good run here to the left-hand side, cutting back towards the middle. Another good tackle from Philadelphia, but they're about 6 meters away from the touch and from the end zone. 11 and a half minutes to go in the third quarter. We have another injury, perhaps. Philadelphia players very slow to get up as Jacksonville pitches to the left. They've got some space. Can they get one more pass? No. Looking for one more play.
Tackle.
They pitch it back. One more chance. A slow kick.
Oh, he's
got it! Oh, what a tremendous tackle! Is it going to be a try? 4 points for the Axemen. What a little kick. Tremendous play from Jacksonville. I can't wait to see the replay on this. He knew he couldn't run it into the end zone. What a touch dribbler of a kick. Perfect speed, perfect finesse, and the crowd is back into it. It's now 18-10.
We have a ball game.
I can't tell you how talented that was.
That was Keeley. Look at him. Keeley read that perfectly. He saw the defense was moving up. He kicked the ball back in there. Perfect little bounce, ricochet, and right in the breadbasket over the line. Perfect score for the Axemen.
That's Stephen Hill, one of the interchanges for the Axemen. He has both their tries. I don't know if he would have expected this, but he's turning into a potential instant hero for Jacksonville. Going back to Matt Keeley's play, their head coach, wow, what a play as well.
That was experience. He could see the line. He could see the team, the fight, moving off the line, read it perfectly. Enough gap to just put just the slightest of touch on that ball, and the bounce was perfect.
Once again, great camera work here from our crew here in Jacksonville, too. Matt Keeley, who just made those 4 points happen for Jacksonville, even though he doesn't get credit for those 4 points on the score sheet. He will be on for this 2-point conversion now as we're approaching the midway point of the third quarter. It's 18-10 Philadelphia. Keeley trying to put 2 more points on the board for the Axemen.
And this is an important kick, too.
You want to stay within one strike. Again,
oh, he's nailed
the win, but it is right down the middle. Splits the uprights. More momentum. You can tell how pumped he was, pumping his fist on the way. Look, in breezy conditions, not easy to get that kind of kick.
He made it look simple, though.
Cut.
He made it look simple. He punched it straight through. Didn't put much curve on the kick. The crowd is back in it.
I think the nighttime actually adds to the atmosphere here as well. We started this game with some sunshine. Now we are completely under the lights. It's just a different vibe. It's a different feel out here. Jacksonville will also receive the kick. Remember, in rugby, when you score, you get the ball back immediately. It's not like American football where you give it up. So the Axemen trying to go back-to-back with their scores. High, short kick. Excellent tackle from Philadelphia.
Great take by Thornton there.
But it was fielded very cleanly from Thornton. And so Jacksonville inside their own 20 will maintain possession. They've got a long way to go, but they do have the ball.
What's the referee
quick play
call?
And a quick stoppage. Free kick for the Axemen. They're going to get some extra play out of this. Here comes another one towards us. It's going to go straight into the stands. Nobody able to make the catch.
They're going to start just after the 50-yard line with a fresh set of 6 downs or tackles.
And they're trying to move it quick, really trying to catch the fight out of position. I think they did exactly that. They're already inside the Philadelphia 40. Jacksonville for years has been excellent at catching the defense napping and getting quick starts and gaining extra yardage out of it and extra field position out of it. They've done exactly that here as they try and even the score. They're down by 6. They're inside the Philly 30-meter mark. Now inside the 20. Look at the momentum push. Excellent work from the Axemen. Lowering the shoulder, really gained some leverage to get the extra 5 or 6 meters on that play. As they go wide, ball is loose. Philadelphia gains it on the turnover. Tackled, what did he go out of bounds?
He did go out of bounds, but they lost the ball forward. I think the referee might play the advantage here. A little pushing and shoving.
On the far side of the field, tough to tell from our vantage point.
The referee's going to give the feed. Vince Lawson, the referee.
This is a critical decision here.
Looks like the feed's going to go to the Philadelphia fight.
Let's see what we got on this
As you
replay.
can see
the
here,
pitch goes to the right-hand side.
Loses the ball forward. That's the first mistake. Once he takes the ball, the referee will play the advantage, taken out over the sideline.
It is
ball
fed
goes
in
back
by
to
the fight. Absolutely. It was Joe Eicher not able to make that catch on the pitch. It was right on his left shoulder. Tough grab to make without question.
And that's Pat Quirk filling in for Roman Lowry at fullback.
And again, if we get an update on Philadelphia's Roman Lowry in terms of his injury, we'll try and give it to you. We'll see if we can get Brian McLogan on that at some point in the second half. See if we'll see Roman Lowry back on the field at any point in this championship game. Meanwhile, the fight with it, leading by 6. They're at their own 30-meter mark with just under 7 minutes to play in the third quarter. We're playing 4 20-minute quarters tonight.
Springer.
Excellent pass. Are they going to be able to pick it up? Oh, they did. Excellent catch of that pass. As that ball went up in the air, he deflected it high, but he was able to keep it off the ground.
He was through. He couldn't get the timing of the pass down. If he connected, they might be under the post.
There's a lot of space here for Philadelphia going wide, and they get it wide as well. They got a solid 15 meters or more, but they lost the ball as well. Ball is loose. Who has it? Axemen get it on the turnover inside their own 40-meter mark. Quickly going the other direction. Excellent run for Jacksonville.
Yards.
That's Randy Dewey with it, splitting a couple of defenders. Passing back to the middle, Matt Thornton, big man, veteran player for the Axemen. Looks like he got tackled a couple of times there. Good tackle there from Philadelphia, making that hit for the fight was number 14, Dave Wilmore. Meanwhile, Jacksonville inside the 40. Great hit there from Philadelphia, but they're right back at it. Running with it for the Axemen, Kevin Watham.
Referee's going to call stoppage and play, move it back to where he was actually held down in the tackle. He will ask him to play the ball from the original point.
That might actually help out Jacksonville because on that last run on, did not get a whole lot on it. So at the 30-meter mark of Philadelphia, long pitch. Jacksonville looking to pitch. They fake the pitch. Gaining a lot of ground on that play for the Axemen is Josh Koch. He's their 5'8 player. Getting it almost to the 20-meter mark. Faking the pitch to the right. Going to the left. Wide side. Can they get it to him? Yes, he's got some space. Cuts it back to the middle. Not able to get to the 10-meter mark, but they pick it right back up. We've got a stoppage. Looks like it's going to go to Philadelphia. The Axemen knew it.
And I don't think Will Mueller there knew it was the last tackle. Otherwise, he would have got rid of that ball.
So the 6 downs are up again. In rugby, you get 6 downs to move it the length of the field. If you don't score, you give it up.
You turn the ball over. The Axemen will want to keep the fight down in their own territory here. This breeze is definitely helping the Axemen.
And they have the wind advantage right now. It is blowing in their favor, too. But that also means that they might be blowing against them in the fourth quarter, assuming that they switch sides at the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, Philadelphia, deep in their own zone. Great tackle from Jacksonville. They're really starting to tighten things up, not only with turnovers, but in terms of sure-handed tackling.
The Axemen look like they've got fresh legs. Philadelphia doesn't have an answer for it right now. That'll be the 5th tackle. They're going to want to put the ball deep. This is a stiff breeze.
And they get the tackle away. He got hit as he kicked it as well, so not much distance on that kick. Here comes Jacksonville. A lot of speed here for the Axemen, already over midfield. There was a hit on the kicker just as he got it away, and that really took away some of the steam of that kick. The Axemen would really like a nice long run. They've had difficulty finding space all night. Only 1 or 2 really good runs of about 15 meters plus. They could use another one right now.
I'm watching Coach Keeley out there. He's moving gingerly. I don't think he's well. Looked like he was injured in that last play.
Jacksonville did get a good run just as we were talking about that. We'll watch Matt Keeley as well, see if he's going to be okay. Meanwhile, Jacksonville pitching to the right side. A little bit of space there for Kevin Watham at about the 10-meter mark. Cutting back towards the middle, pitching it back to the right. Is there space? There is a little, but they give it up again. Seems like right as they're at the end, right when they need that one last pass, they can't convert it on that last final opportunity.
It's the story of tonight. Every time they've been down that side, so many opportunities, so many spilled balls. Unfortunately, Philadelphia, they were struggling. They were walking back to the line on defense there. Axemen, they had the advantage. They could have put it away.
This is also one of those times where you talk about field position being so important. I actually think that field position is more important in rugby than it would be in football. Again, going back to your American viewers here who are watching it and new to the sport of rugby. You think football or field position is important for NFL football or college football. I think you might even magnify it a little bit for rugby.
Possession and position, they're the 2 driving factors.
So Philadelphia with possession at the moment. They give it up. Did that ball go forward? I thought it did.
I thought it did too. Referee said he knocked it back.
Philadelphia holds on to possession. I think they were very fortunate to do so. They nearly lost it again. They get across their 20-meter mark just barely. Solid tackle from the Axemen.
Don't argue in the face there.
Josh Cox, 2nd tackle in a row. Tremendous play. Philadelphia gets it right back up again. He gets drilled for the 2nd time in a row. First Josh Cox, then Matt Thornton.
He might want to stay down this time.
I would. Philadelphia on their last down, they get a good kick away this time. Is it going to go out of bounds? Going to be really close. They get the roll, and it does go out of bounds.
The Axemen wingers caught napping there. They kicked on the early tackle count. They weren't deep enough. The fullback wasn't in position.
Look at the replay. Look at these hits. This is the second of the 2 hits. I wish we had gotten the first one as well. But Matt Thornton
was 3 hits.
Really bringing the physical play. As I think if you're going to tell who had the physical advantage tonight so far, it would be Jacksonville. They just don't have the advantage on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they can't hang on to the ball, and it's costing them. But in terms of this half, the Axemen have been the more physical team.
We are down to 1.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. It is Philadelphia 18, Jacksonville 12. The fight have never trailed, but Jacksonville is looking to even the score. They need to go 70 meters in 70 seconds.
Again, can they do what they did last time?
They just don't want to turn it over, but that's exactly what just happened. Quick change of possession. Philadelphia now inside the 30-meter just like that. And now it's the Axemen who really have to fight it off. Ball comes loose. What's going to happen? Jacksonville wants to run with it. They're not going to get the chance.
Referee saying he's lost it.
He did stop the play. So for Philadelphia, first quarter tries from John Lyons and Michael Garvey. A third quarter try from Jackson Springer for Philadelphia. That's the difference in this game right now. For the Axemen, both tries come from one of their interchanges, Stephen Hill. He's got them both. Down to the final 30 seconds of the third quarter. Looks like this championship game is going to go down to the wire as the Axemen have possession. Kick to open space for Jacksonville. Will they run under it? A lot of speed there. Philadelphia trying to gain possession. They are able to fall on it. You really had to be careful there, making sure that Jacksonville couldn't gain control of that kick on the run. That could have really been damaging and potentially a home run ball.
Both teams are looking to go in the end of the third quarter. Philadelphia has the advantage on the scoreboard, but 20 minutes left. Let's see what the Axemen can do.
Time has ground down. We have not heard a stoppage from the officials yet until now. We are through 60 minutes of play. 20 minutes to go. That means we're 20 minutes away from declaring your 2014 champion for the USA Rugby League. Right now, it's the Philadelphia fight with the advantage. They lead the Jacksonville Axemen 18-12. We'll be back for the final quarter of play. We'll find out who's going to hoist the trophy.
Drivers sharing your streets have a duty to drive with care. Restaurants and stores have a duty to make their businesses safe. I'm attorney Joanne Yao, and if you were hurt because of someone's negligence, contact the Yao Law Firm or get my video advice online. Yao Law, focused on protecting businesses and representing the injured.
Ready for the fourth and final quarter of the USA Rugby League National Championship game. This fourth quarter is sponsored by St. Vincent's. St. Vincent's is more than a hospital, it's compassionate care. Above, beyond, because. St. Vincent's Hospital. 18-12, the Philadelphia fight lead the Jacksonville Axemen. There's 20 minutes left to determine your 2014 national champion. The Axemen down by 6, receive in the fourth quarter. Not too much speed, but a lot of weight, a lot to tackle for the Philadelphia fight as the Axemen have it close to their 20-meter mark.
And the Axemen will be looking for a better start in this quarter. Each quarter they've turned the ball over, put Philadelphia back in possession. This time they want to hang on to the ball.
Under the lights here at the University of North Florida. Avoiding one tackler at first is Richie Alger for Jacksonville. To the left-hand side.
It's a great strong run.
Pass. Very good run from the Axemen. Running out of plays as well, but they do get to midfield and into Philadelphia territory. We talked about it at halftime. Still have not heard very much from Apple Pope today. Will he be a factor in the final 20 minutes? The hometown boy from Yulee, Florida.
That's a beautifully placed kick there. Pat Quirk having trouble with that ball. Jacksonville's done well to keep them pinned back down. Oh, he's hurting that play.
Definitely slow to get up. We've really stressed how important field position is in the game of rugby. That kick really benefited the field position for Jacksonville, even though the fight do have the ball. 18-12 Philadelphia. Can they hang on, or will the Axemen have a dramatic comeback? Philadelphia now across their 40. Good run from the fight. Cutting back to the middle of play. They're going to kick the ball downfield. It is over the head of Steven Kruger for the Axemen. It will take a roll out of bounds right by the pylon of the end zone.
Quick start to this last quarter.
see
There's
the
the hit
replay
on
here.
Quirk.
More physical play. Seems like every time we're looking at a replay, if it's not an actual score, it's Jacksonville and their physical play. Without question to me, they've been the more physical team.
They really have. The Axemen have put in on a great effort in terms of defense, but they've got to do more. They've got to hang on to the ball, and they've got to spread it out wide to move it up the middle. It's been a tough, tight game.
Jacksonville feeds into the scrum at their own 10-meter mark. They have possession. They've got a long way to go to try and tie this game. And again, they would need a 4-point try plus a 2-point conversion to even the score. About 7 meters on that run from the Axemen. Trying to wear down Philadelphia in the humidity of the North Florida environment.
And this is where strength and stamina really comes into play. The conditions.
Oh, what a great fake from Jacksonville. One more pass deflected away and stolen
What was he
by
doing out
Philadelphia. He just never saw him, Steve. There's no question about it. He thought that he had an open man. He made a great move to get about 10 meters on that
He's been
run.
waiting to do that all game too, Matt Keeley.
Just didn't see the Philadelphia player, and now the turnover belongs to the fight. Leading by 6. They would love some insurance right now. They lose the ball, however. Ball is free. Jacksonville has it. Pitch to the left side. They've got some space on the quick change. To the left. Cutting back. Can he break a tackle? No. But the Axemen still have it near midfield. To the right-hand side. Slipping past one tackler. Getting hit again. Good tackle there from Philadelphia. I think he got hurt a little bit on the play, but that was a very important tackle from the fight's John Lyons. Meanwhile, Jacksonville breaks one tackle, gains 10 meters. Down at the 40-meter mark. Matt Keeley to the right. With some space for the Axemen is Tim Herf, who's had a lot of action as an interchange player for the Axemen tonight. An interchange meaning a substitute player. Did not start this game. All the way from left to right, trying to go across the field. Excellent possession with some space. A lot of ground to cover to the pylon. Not quite there, but inside the 10-meter mark. Tremendous passing from Jacksonville. That's been their best string of passes all night as they try and get to the tie line. They lose possession. It is free. Who has it? I believe the fight are in possession. Again, they just cannot get that last pass to try and get that conversion.
Could have been a mistake from the Philadelphia team there first. Saw the referee give the feed back to Jacksonville. That looks like they're going to get the ball back.
It would
10
be a
yards
huge
out.
break if that was the case because Jacksonville was very shaky on that last pass as well.
Quick hands there. Beautiful work. Coming down the right-hand side. Held the ball up beautifully.
And you have no idea how difficult it is to get these passes strung together cleanly and crisply and in stride time and time again.
It is precision timing when you're running at that speed.
It's got to be like clockwork. It does not always work out that way. That was definitely the best string of passes that the Axemen have thrown together all night.
The Axemen are looking tired. Both teams are looking tired. It's been a long game.
The Axemen on the scrum for the try. Across the 10, about 2 meters away, and they're right down the middle of the goalposts. A new set of downs as well. Philadelphia knocks it away.
That's 6 more tackles to the Axemen. 6 more.
Free set of plays inside the 10-meter mark. Choosing to go to the right-hand side. Excellent tackle from Philadelphia. Jacksonville lost a lot of ground on that play. They've got a long way to go now.
These teams are
back up the middle.
Absolutely dead on their feet. We still got 15 minutes left.
Cut back to the middle. As Tim Herf had some teammates to pass to on the left side, but chose not to go that way. Now to the right-hand side they go. Looking to get it past the tackler is Kevin Waltham. Cannot do it. Are they down to their last one? Not sure. Jacksonville fakes the pass to the right. They couldn't pass it anywhere. He had nowhere to go with it.
4th tackle, it looks like.
2 more to go for Jacksonville. This is critical for Jacksonville. They're going to choose the left-hand side. Cut back to the right. Not able to get the pass away. They're still inside the 10-meter mark.
Last tackle.
They've got to go for broke here. Or will they go for the short kick? That's what got them their second try.
Oh, he's
it's
put
a
the ball
short
up.
kick. It is up. It is loose. Jacksonville has it. They've
Looks
got
like
the try.
Scored.
Is it in?
Looks like he scored.
The Axemen with
The
a
referee
4-point try.
He's blowing the whistle.
It's 18-16. Second time this second half that we've seen Jacksonville on their 6th and final down kick the ball up into the end zone and look for the loose ball. That's exactly what happened there. And Jacksonville is now a 2-point conversion away from tying this championship game.
Perfectly placed kick there from Keeley. Philadelphia spilled the ball straight into the hands of the Axemen player. Who was that scored? Number 2.
I want to say that was Steven Kruger for Jacksonville that got that try. There's no question about that try counting. Let's talk about the foot play from the Axemen tonight. Again, we talked about that play from Matt Keeley that set up the second try with his short little finesse pooch kick on the ground. This time they went a different route. This time they went up in the air with it.
He's a much
and
better
same
look at
guy
it.
again, Matt Keeley, with a pooch punt almost this time, up high in the air to try and have his teammates get underneath that ball.
And I think that was a falcon. Falcons where it bounces off the player's head. You don't often see them in rugby league, but we got a falcon that led to a try, and that's all the Axemen wanted. They don't care where it came from.
It was Joe Bobbin who got that try, number 1, not number 2. Looking for the conversion.
This is a big kick. And this
is not an easy kick
This
either.
is not an easy kick because he's on the wrong side of the park. He's a right foot kicker.
All the way at the far sideline for this kick is Matt Keeley. He is earning his keep on this conversion. 12:35 to go in regulation play. I say regulation because we might not be done after 4 quarters of play tonight.
Do these players have anything else to give? This has been a long, hard-fought evening. We're looking at the 2 best teams of the competition for the past 3 years. Tonight we'll find out which one will be champion in Season 4, 2014, USA Rugby League.
I got to think that if you've never seen rugby in your life, you would know if you watch this entire game that this is the ultimate of USA Rugby right now.
This has been a great evening.
So for the 2-point conversion and the potential tie, Matt Keeley on to put his right boot into it, trying to split the uprights. It's a long way to go. It does have the distance. Is it between the uprights?
He did it! Oh, we've got a game on now!
Tremendous.
18 points all.
Tremendous clutch kick from Matt Keeley. Your head coach and player, 3 for 3 on conversions. None of them have been easy. That was clearly the most difficult of the 3, but he has knocked them all through the uprights. For the first time tonight since we were at 0-0, we are deadlocked. It's 18-18 for the Jacksonville Axemen. They were down 12-0 after 1. We talked about how do you gain the momentum back. They did. Now they're the ones with the momentum, and 11 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
At Philadelphia, hands on their hips there. They don't like what they're seeing. They're a little confused. The Axemen crowd definitely back in it.
And when you're deflated a little bit, it's awful hard to go right back on
defense.
That's
a costly mistake
and
here.
Now
it's
it's spilled over the line.
Philadelphia's going to score.
The ball is loose.
Oh, can you believe that?
Philadelphia has tried it right back seconds later on a critical turnover.
He's going to give it.
They will give the try to Philadelphia. Not sure if he had possession at the goal line. That was the question, but they are going to say that he did.
It was a big hit.
For the fight, it was Patrick Quirk, one of the substitutes. He did get the ball over that line. There's no doubt about it. If he had fumbled it before he had grounded it, different story. You don't have to gain possession once the ball touches the ground. The second that ball touches the ground,
it's live.
Those points are in.
And Pat Quirk coming in for Roman Lowry here, the injured player, playing fullback.
So Patrick Quirk regains the lead for Philadelphia. How long did that tie last? 15 seconds tops, I would say.
That's a heartbreaker. The Axemen had all the momentum going. They had the ball in possession, and they coughed it up. And 10 minutes left, still plenty of time.
On for the conversion for Philadelphia is going to be Mike Timpano. Pretty easy for this one, and he boots it through. He's 3 for 4 on conversions. Remember, their other 2 points from the conversion he missed, they got a 2-point penalty kick at the end of the first quarter. That's proving to be a big difference maker in this one as well, as the Fight have regained the lead. 9:34 to go in the game. It's Philadelphia 24, Jacksonville 18.
Keeley brings the ball back. He's been in everything tonight. He's kicked, he's tackled, he's chased. He'll be upset by that.
No question
oh, that's a
about it.
costly mistake for Philadelphia there.
Goes all the way across the back end line.
That's a drop kick for Philadelphia. They'll have to give the ball back to the Axemen. That's
got to find a way to just keep that ball in play.
Philadelphia should know better. They can't watch the ball go back.
Has this game been as crisp as you expected it to be?
It's been a game of 2 halves. The second half has been very tight. They've sort of managed to figure out the conditions and hang on to the ball. The first half, we saw a lot of turnovers. It was really uncharacteristic of both teams. But again, these are 2 physical teams, very strong teams here, giving it everything.
So the Axemen, just as Philadelphia took advantage of a big turnover, now it's the Axemen who maybe will be able to convert on a mistake from the Fight. The Axemen already at the Philadelphia 40-meter mark, but they could really use a lot of open space and one great run on. For Jacksonville, Steven Kruger, pretty much at the left upright of the goalpost. 30 meters away are the Axemen from trying to cut this deficit down to 2. 10 meters on that run, all the way to the 20-meter mark now. Another good run from Jacksonville with space and inside the 10, about 8 meters away from a 4-point try. Back to the middle of the field. A lot of teammates there for the Axemen. Looking to the left-hand
that was
side,
a set
trying
play.
to set the picket fence. Good form tackle from Philadelphia, but they still have a couple of plays left to go. They'll move it back to the right side. Another high kick from Keeley looking for a teammate. It's going to be fielded by Philadelphia right about 1 meter away from the end zone. Keeley's had 2 kicks that have resulted in tries for the Axemen. Tried to make it a third one there. Not able to convert.
Difficult to see what the referee's calling. I think he's called a penalty of actually tackling the player in the air as he was trying to catch the ball, which is a big no-no. Let's see what the replay tells us.
We'll have the replay in a moment. Meanwhile, Philadelphia kicks that ball out of bounds. They are the ones in possession. Let's see if that's exactly how you saw it, Steve.
It's exactly what happened. Cannot touch the player while he's in mid-flight going for the ball.
Incidental contact, okay?
Absolutely. You cannot touch the player, though. You cannot tackle the player.
Gotcha. So the fight now with it, and a little bit of extra space because of that penalty from the Axemen as well. Philadelphia leading by 6.
Great yards there by Jackson Springer.
They want what would be...
He's been quiet tonight.
Again, he's been under the weather, too. Another quiet player for Jacksonville. 2 guys we thought would be factors. Apple, Pope. Will he be a factor in the final 20 minutes? Now 6 minutes, I should say. Very little time left. Time starting to wind down. Very much in favor of Philadelphia.
And that's the thing, when there's 6 minutes left for the team that's winning, it can't go quick enough for the team that's losing. It's way too slow.
We'll see if Philadelphia can try and put some stall tactics in there as well. You don't want to be too cute, of course. But they certainly... Our time is on their side without question. As the fight give it up on a low rolling kick, the Axemen trying to find an opening, and they do. What a great run! And an opening in the clear for the Axemen. It's Joe Eicher.
Where's the support?
Way across Philadelphia territory. Pitch comes off. It is loose. Philadelphia gets it back.
And they didn't have to do that.
Take the field position and just move on from there.
That's panic football setting in. There's still plenty of time left on the clock.
That was the best run that the Axemen had all day. Great tackle there from Jacksonville. But going back to that run, take the field position. That had to be a perfect pass under duress.
It was only the first down. They could have played it out. Philadelphia weren't back on side. They were struggling. Missed opportunity.
Again, maybe just pressing a little too much, feeling like they have to make the perfect play. That was not necessarily the case there. Time winding down. 5.5 minutes to go in this game. Philadelphia near midfield. In possession, just crossing the midfield stripe now as the fight are tackled.
These two teams have given everything tonight. It's been a bruising encounter.
I don't know how they have anything left, to be truthful. I'm spent and I'm up here.
It's an endurance sport, that's for sure.
Philadelphia looking for the kick. Very high, very short, poor kick. Where's it going to go? It bounces off one man. Jacksonville gets it off the hop. Can they maintain possession? Yes, they pass it back. They are in the clear. Very close to midfield. Jacksonville with good field position, but with less than 5 minutes to go, Steve, you got to think that this could be the one. And now we've got a stoppage in play. What do we have?
Not sure what the referee's calling here.
The Axemen will have the ball. I think that's not in question. But we are now at 4:35 to go. Is this the possession that the Axemen try and will even the score? Will we have potential overtime here?
Can Philadelphia hang on? They look tired. Both teams look tired.
The Axemen to about the 45-meter mark of Philadelphia. You got to think they only have maybe 1 or 2 possessions left where they can try and even the score. Down by 6. They need a try and a 2-point conversion to potentially send this game to overtime. Good pitch up the middle. Breaking a tackle. Breaking another. He's in the open field. Breaking another tackle. Inside the 10. Can he get to the try line? He's trying to get it to the line. He's right between the goalposts. Pitch back. Trying to get to the line. Can he get there? Philadelphia trying to stand him up. Can they get one more pitch back? He's over the line. Does he pound it? Does he touch it down? Are they awarding him the points? No. Now they drive it forward. Are they in yet? Drama in Jacksonville as the Axemen are trying to tie the game. Have they awarded the try to the Axemen yet? Are they still in possession? We're waiting for the announcement from the officials.
There's bodies everywhere.
There's also a man down for Philadelphia, too, to go with us. What drama in this national championship game with just over 3 minutes to go.
They've stopped the clock. Jackson Springer injured on the play. He looks hurt. Players are starting to cramp up out there.
The Axemen are 1 meter away from a 4-point try, but they pitch the ball deep, looking to the wide side. Will they get some in to the goal line? Not quite there. They've moved back a few meters now. And does Philadelphia have the ball?
It was a turnover in possession. They didn't read that it was the last tackle. How close was he there at that try line there?
We were wondering if he had it. I thought he did have it. Great tackle from Jacksonville. So important that they keep the fight hemmed in their own zone deep. Philadelphia just wants to get out of the shadow of their own goal line. They do with that run. 3 minutes on the clock. Philadelphia holding on for dear life, trying to repeat as national champions. The Axemen want their second title in 3 years.
The Axemen will have time for one set of possession.
Philadelphia with
kick.
a kick. It is way over the head of Steven Kruger. Is it going to go out of bounds is the question at this point. Rolling.
It's still in play.
It's still in play. Tremendous kick from Philadelphia. What a difference maker that kick was. And the Axemen are going to have to wait for some of their teammates to get back on side. There's not a whole lot of teammates there for them. Looked like a head tackle, but they're not going to call it there. Actually able to break that tackle was Will Mueller. 2:20 on the clock. The Axemen have a long way to go. Pitch to the left side. There is some opening. Can they get the pass away? Not quite. The ball comes loose as well. The fight have it on the turnover.
That might be it for the Axemen.
All Philadelphia has to do at this point is just be clean with their possession. The Axemen want to get their tackles quick.
Look for Philadelphia. They might go for a field goal here for the extra point.
That 1 point would make all the difference in the world if that's what they do. Pitching it back for Philadelphia. Inside the 20-meter mark now. The fight looking to hang on, leading by 6 with 1:41 on the clock. Looking for some insurance. They're between the goalposts, about 10 meters away. Jacksonville at this point, you would think, needs a miracle to try and score and convert.
1.5 minutes left on the clock. They'll look to get the ball back.
Good tackle there from Jacksonville, but they need the ball. They don't need good tackles. They need a turnover and open field.
They need something to happen. Philadelphia, they'll play patient here.
They're in no rush
whatsoever. They may even kick the ball out on touch. Oh, there's Wiggins.
Passes the ball back. Another pass to the left side. This might be it. Looking for the try and the score.
That's the nail in the coffin.
That's going to be it. Philadelphia with the try with 1:05 on the clock. That's going to be it. It looks like the Philadelphia Fight are going to be your defending champions for the second time in a row.
Yes, congratulations to Philadelphia Fight. What a great victory. They've worked hard. They've had to overcome several comebacks from the Jacksonville Axemen. Coach Hillfield, he'll be ecstatic there. 3 championships in 4 years. They're some team.
And for those last 3 minutes, let's go back to that again, where the Axemen were knocking on the doorstep looking for the try. I wish we could see that replay again. Maybe we will at some point in time to see if the Axemen actually did get that ball over the try line. I personally thought they did on one of their situations. The referees said not the case. That's the difference right there.
Yeah, there'll be controversy. It'll be interesting to see what the players have to say.
So Philadelphia now leading 28-18. They've got a 2-point conversion as well here. They know that they're champions. And going here on the road, again, pretty raucous crowd after the first 20 minutes. Remember, Philadelphia really had the Jacksonville crowd out of it after the first quarter. But really from the second quarter on, it's been a very boisterous crowd here in Jacksonville. Philadelphia, resolve, character. Talk about an experienced team. We've talked about it a lot tonight. I think that really did them well and served them well tonight.
It was experience. Axemen was a far more physical team out of the two, but plenty of experience, years of. There we go. That's it. That's the final whistle.
The conversion was good at the gun. The Philadelphia Fight celebrate on Jacksonville's home field. Final score in the USA Rugby League National Championship game is the Philadelphia Fight 30, the Jacksonville Axemen 18. The Axemen despondent on the field as they watch Philadelphia in jubilation, as they are now 2-time national champions and 3 times in 4 years.
And the heart goes out to the Axemen fans and the Axemen players. They gave everything tonight. They threw it at Matt Keeley, probably one of the best players on the field tonight. He was in everything. Tackled, kicked, chased. But in the end of the day, not good enough. Philadelphia, too many weapons. And boy, oh boy, How costly was that turnover there right at that try line right before the end of the game? Just when you thought the Axemen were back in it, Philadelphia came back and scored again, completely took them out of the game.
And that was the difference. It really came down to the wire here as we're going to head down to the field level. We're going to have Brian McLogan in just a moment. He's going to be joined by Philadelphia's head coach. That is Peter Ilfield. No question. He'll be so excited about this one. Down to the field with your Rugby League champion head coach, Peter Ilfield. Here's Brian McLogan.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Here you go, Peter. Congratulations,
Thank
back-to-back national championships.
Yeah.
How does it all feel?
Feels great. It's been a dream of all these players out here tonight from Philadelphia to be able to beat Jacksonville in Jacksonville. That's the first step. In a national championship, it is absolutely fantastic. They've played their guts out. We finished with only 13 players, 4 injuries on the bench, couldn't take part in the last 10 minutes. So it was a great effort by these guys. It's fantastic.
All right, very good. Again, congrats. Back up to you guys.
Thank you.
Brian, thank you so much. Before we head to break, let's go through some of the key replays from this game as the Philadelphia Fight win 30-18. We'll also have both teams applauding the fans that were here tonight as well. You can see some of the Axemen players. Tremendous performance here from both teams on the field as we look at some of the highlights. That's Jacksonville's first try. That got them on the board. Remember, they trailed 12-0 going into the second quarter, and we had a weather delay of about 20 minutes that really swung things in Jacksonville's favor.
Look at those hits.
Big physical play from Jacksonville all night long. They were the aggressor tonight. Philadelphia was the one receiving most of the hits, but their counterattack and being able to capitalize on turnovers really was a big key to this rugby match.
Standout players, the Axemen. Stephen Hill, he had a big game. Non-stop running all day. There he is right there. Scored 2 tries for the Axemen.
One of the best defenders for Jacksonville on the evening was Joe Eicher. He had a ton of big tackles. And look at this run here. This is one of the keys to the game as well. Tremendous run here from Joe Bobbin. But in the last second, he tried to get that last pass off. That could have been the difference between 0 points and a 4-point try.
Had it come off, and then this was the mistake.
That's the game.
Right after the try was scored.
Here's the final try from Jacksonville. The man who kicked that ball, your head coach and player, Matt Keeley, he was a key factor as you see the final try that put the nail in the coffin for the Jacksonville Axemen. So your final score, again, is 30-18. The Philadelphia Fight have now won the USA Rugby League National Championship for the second time in a row. This broadcast tonight produced by the I Know Jacks team. To find out about fun things to do in Jacksonville with friends and family, places to go, eat, drink some craft beer perhaps, not that I would do such a thing, wine and so much more, visit the website iknowjacks.com. Or watch I Know Jacks right here on CW17 on weekends at 9:30 at night. I want to thank certainly the production crew here from I Know Jacks.
They've done a great
tremendous job. Work on the cameras, exceptional. Special thanks to Joe and Suzanne Talentino for their tireless efforts to make this broadcast a reality. Definitely want to thank Brian McLogan, our sideline reporter, and Steve, thank you to you as well. Tremendous analysis on your part.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Make this broadcast really something special as the Philadelphia Fight win by a final count of 30-18 in a score that is nowhere near indicative of just how tight this game was. For everybody else involved in this production, this is Arlie Johnson saying goodnight. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. This is the USA Rugby League National Championship. Your champions, second time in a row, is the Philadelphia Fight.